as I can see, but you don't want to talk to me, no. And not through words, not through songs, not through whispers, not through phones. When I look at you, I know that got me in a state of mind, traveling through wasted time. Think of how I will rewrite every single song. Walk as far as I can go now. I keep repeating overgrown. I think of if you passing by, round the corner meet my eyes. I don't know what we would say, but got me in a state of mind, traveling through wasted time. Think of how I will rewrite every single song. You got me in a state of mind, traveling through wasted time. Think of how I will rewrite every single song.
Was on. There you go. 1, 2, 1, 3.
Oh, we had that on.
Oh, well, we didn't swear, so it doesn't matter.
We're professionals.
We're professionals.
You probably heard of us talking about our sleeping habits then, if that wasn't turned on.
Yeah.
How's everyone out there? How's everyone out on the Spectator Mound? Good morning. Sunday morning. Can you hear us over there?
Are you really that bad?
Yeah, you can hear us, can't you? Yeah, oh, that's good. You can. That's good.
Yeah, excellent.
Just chilling out in the sun, catching a few rays. It's still a little bit cold out there. Not too bad. Get yourself in the sun and you'll be all right.
It's not as chilly this morning as it can be, I can assure you.
Now
Start driving up here at the winters and you'll know what cool is.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially when you're driving in that thing.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, well, it hasn't got any windows, but it has got a roof.
Yeah, and how did that feel coming up in that?
Nice.
I noticed you were wearing your thick jacket when you're driving.
Put my big jacket on. Yeah, you've got to put your big jacket on, but I don't think I'll ever stop enjoying driving that thing.
No, I think you found the ultimate vehicle that gives you pleasure every time you drive it, because it also snaps necks when you go past. They just look at it and go, "What the hell is that?"
Well, it is a figment of my imagination.
But it's a great imagination.
What have we got coming up?
This is our AT class, obviously. We've asked to start at the top. I would assume that means we're going through that way all the way through. So AT brought to us by Heavy Maintenance Australia. It is the open outlaw blown category.
Yeah, for heavy maintenance.
And we're just getting
aren't they pretty? Those cars look like those cars look like they came out of the same gun.
It's like we've lost the sticker off the hatchback. So that's interesting. Here we go. Rob Armstrong and David Shelley on the other side there. So this is their first hit of the 660 today.
Shelley's flying.
Gorgeous. 551 with a 0.
Yeah, and a 617 for Rob Armstrong. Just under 100 mile an hour. And I think this will be the best air you're going to get today. The track's deadly.
Yeah, the only thing lacking right now probably for the track is a bit of temp, but the air is great, the prep is good. I think in the next 2 hours or so, it's still going to be in primo, Nick. Ryan DeRue, Mark, right, Rick.
I say Ricky, but I probably got it wrong.
Oh, he sings the tyres off it there, Ryan DeRue. Barrow on board for this thing. It's a pretty tough deal. 619 for Mark Rick. Yeah. With, I think, the LSA powered hatch Tirana. 703 there with a lot of wheel spin for Ryan DeRue.
Yeah, I guess if we get it too wrong, they'll come up and punch us and we'll know we got the pronunciation wrong.
It hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't.
No, we do lock the door though. Yeah. So no one can get in here.
Okay, they've qualified themselves in at, Dave's challenge 5-5. We just don't count. Rob Armstrong 6-1. We certainly do count that. And what we got, Rick with a 619 and Ryan DeRue with a 703. So that's topping it out at the moment. You watch that change. All
right, Chris Adams and Luke Redmond. So Toyota and Datsun, CA and 2J. That's a nice run there. Oh, that goes through.
Goes for the sky too.
Goes for the wheel stand. 540 for Chris Adams. That's an improvement from yesterday. The terminal speed, though, a little down. 43. Something's going on there. Redmond, how about that? 584 with a big wheelie.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I mean, yeah, we all want to be famous, but man, I don't know if I want to be that famous.
I don't mind them running all in the category together. Yesterday, of course, and the day before, run when you want, run when you want. Now it's run when you're called.
Yes, that's right. And they'll tell us which ones they want. At the moment, we've got everybody we need in the staging lane, so if you're not in those particular classes, don't bother. Jape at Setcast and Naomi van der Tog.
All right, so Jake and friends, this is the Cressida, Naomi van der Top, of course the iMoan Sylvia, S15, it's both 2Js. Screaming six bangers on a Sunday morning, 550, 563. Geez,
wow.
The bunch is pretty tight already, 550 and 563.
We're getting funny mile per hour in the left lane. Not quite sure what's going on there. The 126 for Naomi sounds about right.
Yeah, the speed in that lane is not up to scratch. It's only showing 43 and 37. So it's just a little off. I'm sure the third pairing down will show us very similar. But look, the ETs are going fine.
Yeah, the ETs
I
are
think
fine.
that's all that particularly matters to us right now is that the ETs are fine. The mile an hour just can have a bit of a tipple.
Yep.
Paul Merry now, the PSI Prem. What do you do for the first load of the day for this car? This is the one at the pointy end of the Open Outlaw Blow-In class, brought to us by Heavy Maintenance Australia. We've gone all reds there. Just hold the phone.
There's obviously an issue somewhere if we've gone all red. We haven't got it clear down the bottom, and I think they can activate the tree from down the bottom if memory serves.
All right, we're just chilling for a sec. Okay, so we might have to just turn it off, turn it on again. I don't know what we're doing there, but yeah, it threw some reds up there at us.
Oh, let's clear the tree now.
Yeah, we've just done the little turn off, turn on. So we're going to be right in just a second or so.
Yeah, we've got both wind lights on, so I know that that's 100% at the other end. Maybe there's a little bit more reset to do.
All right, once we see these two wind lights go off down at the finish line, you can see we've got them both on. Doing a little reboot here.
Yeah, a little bit of maintenance to sort this.
We're all a little bit clunky and cold in the mornings.
We've got that part right.
There we go. We've sorted that out.
Yep.
And I reckon if we flick that over, we're nearly going to be right here. We just had to hold on for a sec. Paul Merry had done the skid in the PSI Prem. And we're just having a quick look at the speed trap in the left lane.
They've completely reset it.
Yeah.
Because we've got nothing at the moment. So we've got CompuLink for the announcer, and that means it generally means we're doing a full reset.
All right, here we go. So Paul Merry.
Reboot. Well, try again. Press the button.
There
you go. Don't be. He's so brave sometimes.
Well, it says Ryan Daru, but it's actually Paul Merry. So
it's Paul Merry driving
it's AT3, not AT5. So.
Okay. It is a 3 too. 3.
Yeah, they're nice.
Very much. Gee, that was good. 1, 2, 3, 60 foot.
Oh, yeah.
Leave me alone. 508, 142 miles per hour. Are we out to play today?
508, 142, 129 in the 60 foot, and the PSI Prem in the first session of the ATs, the Open Outlaw Blow-Ins.
Straight up to number 1.
That's it. So 8 cars in that class. We're now in the, I think we're in the A class. Oh, sorry, the BT class. At the AT, this is the BT. That's Open Outlaw Aspirated, thanks to Queen's Road Paint and Panel, and it won't get any less tough here. Bruce Henderson and Dan Case. So,
2 really nice cars, 2 tough cars.
Going to hear some lungs. Let's listen to the high RPMs out of these. Listen to that thing sing. 614 and a 596.
Give me a break. How good are these 2 cars?
596 there for Dan. That's a great run for him, getting in the 5-second zone.
Okay, Bruce Henderson coming in this side, and Daniel Case over there in the Ford.
That was them. This is Justin Gall and
okay.
Mick choice now. So VH versus XE. This could have almost been a showroom battle back in the day.
Yeah, close. Close.
VH and XE.
We were getting our heads around Commodores.
83.
We hadn't seen a car like that ever in Australia. Based on the Open from Germany.
They're tough. 590. Mick Choice has gone up a little bit. 630 beside there for Justin Gall.
Gee, they're not mucking around, are they?
And we snuck a couple of BTs in there. Here come the AT, another couple of ATs, Paulie Fuller and Scott Hoffman. So we've had a couple of Open Outlaw Aspirated, and then now we've got some Open Outlaw Blow-Ins back. And Hoff, you would have seen the 508 from the PSI Prem. I don't know what Hoff's got as a response, but let's see what Paulie Fuller's got as well. Look at these 2 little beasts ready to bump into a bit of Sunday morning Bump City. Listen to leg that little 3RZ. 512, 516.
Hope that's not as bad as it looks. I hope that was a tyre rubbing against the guard.
It always does that. 512 at 140. Paulie 516. I think the PB for Paulie, 516, 137. Hoff, 140 from the 3RZ. You think the LS is making some steam until the 3RZ actually starts coming back round, Joe?
Wow, yeah, mate, they're flying.
Oh, legging that 3RZ there in low gear. And I think Hoff had a nice conservative deal in it. It didn't do the big carry out like it normally does. But
you might have to step it up.
Yeah, well, here we go. Will Yarwood and Brian Ward. So 6 bangers again here. The Barra-powered Cortina.
Okay, guys, listen up for this. This is serious. Once you've done your run, do not come back and go into the lanes. We will call you into the lanes as we require you. So as you come back from your run, do not go back into the lanes. We will call you when we want you in the lanes, okay? So if you can do that for us and cruise, if the drivers can't hear, go back to your pit after you've done your run.
One session, one hit only. So we're only asking everyone to get one hit only. We're not going for multiple hits in the session. Class C to lane 2, Class C to lane 2.
D to lane 3, Class D to lane 3.
Class C to lane 2, Class D to lane 3, ASAP. Yes, Nick Baxter, that's a good idea for a sticker. You think your LS is making some steam until the 3RZ comes around you, quote unquote.
There you go. I think you're gonna carry that forever.
Yeah, well, it looked exactly like that. Here's the Turbo LS Gemini off and gone, and then here comes the 3RZ Corolla. Yeah. Sort of rounds him up at 140 odd mile an hour.
It was a spectacular watch. Although we're going to put some rubber on the track, so we're going to do a bit of work.
Just going for a little quick bit of attentiveness here. We just had to put Will back in the super a bit so the tractor could get through. Yep. But we are asking all competitors to only do the one run in session. Don't try and come and do back-to-backs. We're not allowing that. We're now asking for Class C. That is the 265 Street Radial Blown to go to lane 2. And Class D, the 265 Street Radial Aspirated, to go to lane 3. So we've already had the ATs come through. We've still got another couple out there now, but
more to go.
That's brought to us by Heavy Maintenance Australia. Open Outlaw Aspirated, thanks to Queen's Road paint and panel. We've got 275 Outlaw Blown and Aspirated to come, which we haven't got into them yet. We haven't seen them yet. JOH Engineering and Platinum Shop Fitters. Our C's and D's, which we're asking to go to the lanes now, the Radial Blown 265 class is brought to us by Ipswich Gearbox Repairs, and the 265 Street Radial Aspirated class brought to us by Trailers and Spares. Yeah, no worries, Tomo. Tomo's coming up for a shot, so we need you in that. I think in that first lane there, the ATs.
He was still smiling this morning.
Just got a slight little drippy out of the, is that a slight little drippy out of the Cortina, which we're just going to remedy there. Make sure it's okay. If it's a Ford, it could be coolant. Just a little.
She's
Ford,
your harsh.
just a little dig at the
Ford.
Ford.
You're harsh.
Oh well, mate, I worked at Ford dealership for a fair while, mate. So
you did.
I'm not only going to
I've owned a few.
I'm not going to highlight all the the benefits and the pros of the Fords.
Well,
there are some cons as well.
My first brand new car was an XR Falcon.
Yeah.
289 Cruise-matic.
Yep.
Which I had a lot of fun with. I think I put an exhaust system on it, a set of wheels, and that was about all I needed to do in those days. Because all my mates were running hot sixes with triples, and doing Saturday morning was a 3-hour tune-up, and I just said, "Well, I'm ready to go, guys. Let's go. What are we doing?"
You just had the V8 straight up.
Yep. So if they have a quick 6, I'd buy a V8 that could stay with them or go do a little better.
Well, our first family car. So once we settled down and we had a baby on the way, young Will, 20 years ago, working at the Ford dealership. My parts manager's father had passed away. He lived out at Mitchell, country gentleman.
Yep.
His EA Fairmont was part of the estate, so I got onto the EA. So our first family car, our first son came home in an EA Fairmont.
Wow.
Wow. So that was multi-point 3.9, but a 3-speed auto, not the 4-speed.
Yeah.
So it still had, I shouldn't say the good gearbox in it. It didn't have the first 4-speed in it anyway. Yeah. So that was the first one. The second child came home 18 months later. I think we still had the EA by then.
Yeah.
But in between that, then we got an AU wagon and we put it straight on gas.
I came home in a tram.
You came home in a tram, did you? No, all our kids came home in Falcon. So the EA, they
Paddington rolled to Paddington, it'd be a tram.
Two of them came home in the EA, and then we got an AU Forte on wagon as well, on gas, straight gas. That we had it on gas, or dual fuel actually.
I didn't see grass as part of your yard until I was nearly 6.
Oh yeah, is that right?
I lived in Paddington in Sydney. I had 10 square feet of asphalt for a backyard. And then as soon as you walked out there was this big asphalt lane.
Yeah,
So the only time I ever saw grass is if the old man took us for a walk.
Down to the park or
Yeah,
something.
down to the park, yeah. So it was a new and enlightening experience when I moved to Toongabbie.
Yeah.
And, mate, this whole yard full of grass.
Couldn't
Couldn't
believe it.
A quarter of an acre.
And then,
wow.
then you realise that there was a downside to that. Is that you probably had to mow the bloody thing.
No, not for a little
pocket
while.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I reckon by the time I was 10, I was mowing the grass.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was getting pocket money for it, though.
Well, in that case,
You haven't met my mother, have you?
No, I haven't.
God rest her soul.
it sounds like there was a bit of Ford in the early days there, by the sound of it.
the
She
old
had
man
the
sold them.
Cortina.
Yeah, the old man sold them to Hunt Brothers in Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've done my Ford stint there, and the EA family car, then the AU family car, and then the BA. Then we went to the Barra. So the third kid came home in a Barra-powered
There you go.
BA wagon. So, and we're trying to get him into something Falcon size because the kid's got his learners now, but he's 6'3". We can't fit him in a Corolla. We've got to put him in a big car.
Yeah,
We're
6'3".
Actually looking for an R31 Skyline. I got one. William Yarwood and Brian Ward. Here we go. Bum City, 6-bagger style.
Oh, out of there, nice and slow, but nearly identical.
Wow.
5:55 this side and a 5:39 with a 5 for Ryan. They are not messing around. Big terminal speeds as well.
Well, Yarwood just a little bit quicker in the 60 there, like 132 to a 135, but they both were booking in the AT class. All right, now look, Rob Armstrong's come back out, and Ryan Durant. Now I know Rob's already run, and with that was the thing we were saying, one pass per session. I've just noticed Rob's come out again. Ryan Durant beside in the BT class.
Somebody's not happy.
Yeah, someone's on the limit of 586 for Armstrong now. 586 is an improvement. Ryan Durant, 634.
Yeah. I mean, we are insulated a little bit. You guys hear the misses and the cackles and everything. We only get them sort of a little bit later than we should, but we've got a lot of glass around us and it's pretty thick.
All right.
And at some places it looks like there might be 2 pieces of glass there.
Aris Cantoli now in the Camaro. Adriano Rosson in this fantastic
It's a pretty car.
HT. Harris looking for a 650, goes 646 with a 5, 626 with a 0.
Yeah, gee, and look at this, 111 and 110. There was nothing between those 2 cars the whole way.
It is the HG, yeah, black and green.
Oh, mate, it just comes out of my mouth automatically.
No, it's
Sorry.
you've got other little focal points that just puts it straight into the supercomputer. Bruce Tranent and Richie Rocket. Best name of the weekend,
Mate,
Richard
I don't
Rocket.
care if he changed his name by Deep Pole or what, I love it. What a great name.
He could be part of the Rocket lettuce
Yeah, he could be.
dynasty.
Yeah, he
you know, he could have been in the family that invented the lettuce. I don't know.
With the double T. Well, he gets out of there all right. What you call fast. We're waiting for Bruce.
Oh, Brucey, hold on to it. Oh, Brucey!
No traction whatsoever.
Oh, skid. I think he was just waiting for it to hook up and launch him away, but it just kept spinning.
And I'm looking at, mate, what's he got? 175 B15s on the back or something.
I don't know what he's got.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of width in those tyres.
He's definitely zinged them all the way down.
He sure did.
And slight tank slap moment there at 330 foot.
Got his attention. That's what happens when this sort of stuff happens. What do we got? Corey Watts on this side and Declan McConnell.
Yeah, both in the 275 Outlaw
Yeah,
blown
look,
class.
The old man's up the back there. Never far away.
VH wagon against, what are we, VC, VB?
Bumped it. No, mate. He recovered. Got it out of 0.2 reaction, which we love. Brings the wind light on, so it must be red over this side. 639 over 664.
639 and 664 for Corey Watson. They continue to roll on through. Chris Kenny in the A6 class, Matt Francis as well. So they're both in that 275 Outlaw blown, brought to us by JOH Engineering. Chris Kenny's had a love-hate relationship this weekend with this car.
Yeah, hasn't been doing any favours. It's not doing him any favours again.
He's just not particularly happy at the moment, the BL.
He goes fine in first gear, gets to second gear and says, I'm over this.
Matt Francis, 647 in the B2200 and an 847 there. Still issues for Kenny.
I feel for you, Chris, I really do.
All right, here we go.
Andrew Rankin and Chris Patterson.
Yeah, Pattinson with the
Yeah,
six banger XF or XG, and Andrew Rankin. I think we're 3RZ on board this thing.
Mate, it's a nice little car, and it works extremely well.
Going to be a good run here for Pattinson. 658 with a 6, 646 with a 5.
Wow.
Of course, you can't hand a slip in under the 50, I think, in some of these classes.
Yeah, I think
so,
the 650 class.
Yeah,
so you're
so-
going to have to try and slow that car down a tad.
Yeah, so there is that little bit of an element to it where it's like, okay, here's the class, but, you know, hand in something as close as you can
On the high side.
on the high side.
So Jason Legrand and Tony Ferguson with the wheels up.
The XHZs. Class E to lanes 4 and 5. So that's the 235 street radial blown class. Class E to lanes 4 and 5. Class E to lanes 4 and 5, please.
Here we go. Brad Beasley in beside Zach Curley.
All right, so
Jeez,
both
we're
in
dropping
that
some names, aren't we?
both in that 275 outlaw blown class.
It's a good looking thing. You can have a look at the car, that's just
Yeah, 151 under 60, sort of falls in a hole a bit, but it's all safe and not getting out of shape. Still go, look, 664. You'll wish it has to come back in the next session and have another go at that, because I know the car can run in the fives easy.
Yeah.
Brad Beasley, same deal, 701 at 109. There's a little bit more left in those cars. Oh, check this out. Jerry Keane and Kevin Morton. Just almost twins, except they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mind you, sunroof. How many sunroofs do you see in the Tories?
Mate, and that one opens too.
Actually, we got a couple of sunroofs here. I think even Chris Adams got a sunroof in the Dado. From
They are
memory.
good. They are good. He opened them up that little bit and changes. Oh, well, driving.
Oh, Jerry!
He just saved that. It was nearly across the centre line.
Oh,
and
that's-
he pulled it back and still takes the
Wow,
win.
what a number. 650
Wow.
with an 8 and 648 with a 1 for Kevy. But that's just poetry in motion. When you just see that wheel dangle, you just get hypnotised by it.
Yeah, we're just and we're watching the car drift, and we probably see it better than you guys because we're not quite behind, but we're back enough that we can see when they're moving across. So Stephen Stecker out there gone with the end of Brandon
You hutch. I'd say Brandon. Anyway, Brandon in the
Brandon's
F
out,
truck.
he's gone. Yeah, it goes. That's quick too. 676 at 101 mile an hour. Stecker went 634 at 106.
Oh, here we go. Here's the GDO again. It's almost like
Isn't this thing unreal?
yeah. And John McSweeney beside.
I had a good look at that.
It's gold. And it's no slouch either.
The fact that he wants to race it just blows me away.
Yeah, that's the 275 Outlaw Aspirator class, thanks to Platinum Shop Fitters. 683 for the Pontiac, 663 for John McSweeney.
Yeah, that was. If you get a chance to have a look at that thing, go have a look at it. It is just amazing. I mean, black cars have got to be good if you're going to paint them black. That particular one is exceptional. Carla Barrett and Tanya Thompson, the ladies are out there.
Yeah,
and both of these ladies know how to race.
Carla Barrett running in the B class, being 275 Outlaw Aspirated, the hatchback, and Tanya Thompson in the AT class, Open Outlaw Blowen. This is her first crack at the track today. Last night, Tanya put that into the 5.0s, I think, in the final last night.
I think she did.
Yeah, I've got
She's
that.
walking around with a smile this morning, I've got to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely delivered some cracker performances last night.
Okay, guys, if you've been called into the lanes,
Don't go missing.
stay with your car.
Don't go missing. Get back to your car. All drivers in the lanes, back to their cars, please. Got to stay with them at all times. We want to not have too much waiting here today. We know you want to get in. We know you want to get out. So
Well, they want to watch, see, that's the thing. And I can understand the intrigue of wanting to do that, but you're here to race, you're not here to look.
all right, Tanya Thompson, she went 5.08 last night. She's going to need a little bit of that right now to get in front of the PSI Prem. Carla's gone. Here goes Tanya.
Waiting, got it now, let's start.
Oh, Tanya!
Oh,
Wow!
good. My God, girl.
Oh, Tanya, that was...
How was that for a hard starter,
yeah,
mate?
Tomo.
Tomo's just walking away. He's still got a smile on his face because the car's in one piece.
126 in the 60, 126 in the 60. So he was. No one's done the 4 yet. No one's done the 4. And
that was a good try.
That was a good shot at it. She had to get off it. And we interviewed Tanya last night. Since she got in that car, she's done 700 passes in that
she
car.
was saying that's 700 passes.
And you know what? That's just a testament to the lady herself. You know, that's how serious she's about the race operation. One, not only has she spent that much time in the car, she did all the the pro radial events, the Flying with Thunder. She'll do the Kenda events. She'll run all these events, and then she can still tell you that she's had 700 passes in the thing.
Yep.
And
that was 701. She probably wouldn't mind forgetting that one. Here we go, Jack Williams in beside Michael McGregor. In the wagon with Patina. We used to call it Rust, these days we call it Patina. And Jack's pretty tidy, his ute.
Yeah, Tanya, I'm just watching the replay there of Tanya's. It was
on
a launch and a half right there.
It was on a mission.
All right, Jack Williams, Mick McGregor, Michael McGregor rather, the Belmont. All right, Class F to lane 6, Class F to lane 6. McGregor goes 660, trying to get that thing down on the 650. 710 for Jack Williams, 710 for Jack Williams.
Yeah, Jack got there first.
Okay, F Class, 235 Street Radial aspirated to lane 6. We should have E in lanes 4 and 5. All right, Matt Maloney and Justin Stevenson. Yeah, my pick. My pick is this Barra Power Class.
It works well. I mean, he gave a big start for 8th mile. But I mean, they're only qualifying the cars, they're not racing. So there you go. An 823 this side, a 656. Gee, that's 106 mile an hour. We're starting to boogie out.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Trying to hit that 50, you see. Terry Hall and Dave Hamilton now we're in the C class, 265 Street Radial blown thanks to Ipswich Gearbox Repairs. Terry in the VH Commodore, Dangerous Dave, I think it's the VC with the Barra on board.
Works well too.
Just looking for the 50.
That was close.
Yeah, 687 to a 665.
It was all in the reaction time. There was 3/10 there, and that tells the story every time. If we're thinking they were racing, as simple as that. And I have a bit of a problem that you get and you don't race, but anyway, then I'll get over it. John Oliver and Jeff Kington.
Yes, Jeff Kington, JK Fitting. John Oliver, he had a good crack here on the Friday night 650 shootout. Here he is now.
Just that front wheel, oh, that's spectacular.
Yeah, 654 for John Oliver, so we're starting to hit these marks.
Yeah, you'd be happy with the
how about
that?
53.
That's good. Those two guys will be happy as. They know exactly where they've got to be now.
All right, Class G to lane 2, Class H to lane 3. We should have F in 6, E in 4 and 5, G in 2, and H in 3. So G and H, can you go to the lanes, please, for your first hit? Here's Paul Gillard and Jake Wakefield.
Doing nicely too, thank you very much.
645 for the 7 and 772 for Jake Wakefield.
Yeah.
All the hatchback is back. We've got C13 on the side. And C13 being Mia Armstrong.
Mia Armstrong this time.
The Armstrong family out in force. Timmy Cross, first run of the day for the Cortina as well, running in that 265 Street Radial blown class.
Wow. Mia got out of there very nicely, thank you very much. Not exceptional reaction times, they're obviously getting boost from somewhere. A 657 for Mia and a 642 for Tim.
Yeah, just trying to hit the 50, both of them, and 657 for me, not a bad run. Timmy, 642, just a little bit quick for now.
Yeah, a bit of work to do. It's hard to take horsepower out, really is.
Shane Jessen here.
Isn't this thing beautiful?
He's in the E class, 235 Street Radial blown, fantastic vehicles, as in Ian Nasmith.
I'm trying to figure out whether it's an XM with an XP front, or it is really an XP. It's just that's a good long Jason Nasmith. Whatever it is, doesn't matter what I think. The thing works. It's a fast Venetian blind.
741 for
Oh,
Nasmith.
it goes close. Has a real good look at the centre.
669 at 102 there for Shane. I wonder whether it's a full Barra conversion with 6-speed in it, I think, ZF, because it just had all those gear changes really early. So I wonder whether it's got that later model Falcon ZF in it. Rowan Ellum and Daniel Henry now. Rowan in the E-Class, it's Street Radial, 235 Street Radial blown, thanks to Weld Done Fabrication. Rowan Ellum and Daniel Henry, both in that 235 class. It's a French. There's a French connection there. Yeah, 7077 and an 884 issues there for the French Mopar.
They came out with I think it was a 2.2 litre 4, anemic thing, and then somebody across says, let's stick a 245
and it worked.
Gee, didn't that work?
That would have been a killer at Bathurst if someone had done it.
Oh, mate, if they ever put a 265 in one of them from the factory.
Oh dear. 654 for Gary Green, 651 for Lukey, so they're hitting that 50
numbers.
Mark. Everyone's just about zoned in on it. The next pairing now was Luke's dad in the Kingswood, Terry Cope and Foley Coots here in one of a whole bunch of VH wagons here this
mate,
weekend.
I won't say they're on special, but mate, they seem to be hanging on. They seem to be
They are a lot of fun, and so many things can go in them, and God knows what he's got in this thing as well. 657 with a 7. He's in that E-Class, a 235 Street Radial blown, and Terry Cope, 670. He's in that same class as well. A bit of spray on board. All right, here we go. Long roof, except one roof's not as long as the other long. Got a little mini long roof.
So we've got Matty Lloyd this side and Jesse Ferguson.
And Jesse, don't show me your nipples again, Ferguson. He was a little too friendly on FaceTime last night, Jesse. And it's Matty Loy's birthday today, so happy birthday, Junga Bunga.
Yeah.
650 on Friday night, split with 1,500 last night too. Good weekend for Junga. He goes, what better way to spend my birthday than racing? And look at this one, him and Jesse to the stripe.
I don't think Jesse's going to catch him, no way. 647 for Junga and 662 for Jesse.
Yeah, looking for that fit 5.0 to hand in, but the 47 and the 62.
Surf's got to roll off a fraction, Matty.
Here's this, I've been calling SLX, but the licence plate is SLE PA, so Sleeper. Ben Roberts and Mark Green, just toughness everywhere.
Oh, have a look at these.
Two-tone toughness.
I mean, the doors are a little running.
654. Oh, you can't get any more 650s than what we've seen. They're just everywhere. 672 for Mark Green for his first hit today. So at the moment we should have G going to lane 2. So class G and to lane 2, class H to lane 3.
Well, we've got Troy Hewitt's in. Got an E number on his car, and that EK. That's as tight as I've ever seen that thing from Dean Wilson. He spent a lot of money.
That's 2 Jane Light in that thing. 655 for him and 654 for Troy Hewitt. So they're both in that E-Class, the 235 Street Radial blown, thanks to Weld Done Fabrication. Looking, obviously the best ET you can hand in there's a 650. That's the only one they'll accept. So you can run big numbers, but it's about how close you can run to that sort of 50.
650. Yeah, but Justin Spicker and Shane Farrell in.
Yeah, look for the left-hand front wheel of the yellow HZ.
Yep. He likes carrying it. He'll never wear that front tyre out.
There it is.
So it's always half a mile racing now. Goes 679. Thank you very much. A 969 for Justin this side.
Yeah, another couple of little sleepers creeping up here now. We've got Tim Highblown in the beige Bluebird.
Yeah.
That was the same colour I had with my beige Bluebird, except mine had a 308 in it, the turbo. God knows what Rick Barnes is going to do.
They're flying both. Wow, are we flying? A 642 for Barnes, a 746 for, you can say that, I'll get that one.
Tim Highblown.
Yep, I'll get it, sorry.
Listen, Tim. Someone's having a crack at the skid in there.
Yes, and you can see the smoke coming through now.
Oh, it's Pete Fenton.
I didn't think Fenton was making all the smoke. I think it might have been Tony Anderson that was doing that.
Oh, I think they're both guilty.
Yeah.
In the F class is Tony Anderson. That is the 235 Street Radial Aspo class. Pete Fenton in the 235 Street Radial Blowen class.
It's a pretty little car, this.
RA60 Celica. Both screaming sixes by the sound of it. 782 and a 675.
Not messing around, are they?
I've never seen so many screaming sixes in the streetcar ranks.
Mate, I like
They
it.
are everywhere. Greg Barrett and Jason Bowers. And he's seen that big proud 650 from the Dial Your Own shootout last night, and a 645 was for Jason Bowers.
Oh, doesn't he cut a light?
Yeah, clean greens both sides. They hit the stripe
Barrett's on the
now.
brakes.
Oh, 56 and a 57.
Yeah, look at this. And he was on the brakes big time.
You can almost hand that in. Most guys may be happy with their first slip. They might be back for a second, but as Mick says, he starts to anticipate. We're going to start having these final calls, and we're going to be wrapping things up and getting people's time slips in, because we know guys want to get back to their normal lives at some stage. Craig Noffke out there, he had a good go last night, went quite a few rounds. Michael Sears, 648 and 689 for Noffke.
He's having a good go now.
Yeah, Noffke, he's in the F class, being 235 street radial aspirated, and Michael Sears the same.
Yeah, he can dial back a little bit from there. Jason Stevens and it's not Brian Heffler.
Brian Heffler.
Yeah, it's got to be Brian.
It is. I'm sure it's Brian Heffler, but it says Brian. We'll say Brian.
We'll say Brian.
Brian Heffler.
Brian.
Go on, your brain. Both in the F category.
Couple of forwards having a crack at each other. One English, American.
235 street radial aspirated, brought to us by Zarafas Yamando. They're great supporters of Willowbank and the road trip. 727 and a 713. So some of these numbers are going to be enough for our competitors. Some of them are just needing, and the ones that really want to chase it just want another couple of hundreds in some cases.
Yeah, we've got a couple. We've got a 551 for Dave Challen. We've got a 555 for William Yarwood. 563 is a little bit off for Naomi. And then they're getting further away.
We just need a call for G class to lane 2, H class to lane 3, F class to lane 6, and our E's to 4 and 5. That's all we've got called at the moment. James Tyler and Michael Shannon getting their first runs of Sunday done. I don't know what they've all got these guys, but that's turbo something in the way.
Yes.
Another long roof that's deadly, 637.
Yeah, and a 6 and an 833 over this side. And he actually cut a good light, did James Tyler.
I've never seen that many tough long roofs in one sitting.
Well, I'm suspecting that long roofs are a cheaper car to buy than a sedan.
They would be, I'd say so. Chelsea, not for long. Chelsea Ware and Ella Armstrong, one of our 19 lovely ladies that have been part of the Road Trip Drag Challenge for 2023.
And they've been putting on a great show too.
Ella in the C class, the 265 street radial blown. Chelsea in the F class, 235 street radial aspirate.
And giving a good account. Both cut lights. Gee, there's not much in that really. What was a 718 and a 754? We're talking of increments of time that we cannot comprehend physically. We just can't measure that without a machine. We're just not capable of it.
Great numbers for both classes. It's another call, Class G to lane 2, Class H to lane 3. If you've already had a run, do not worry about coming back.
We haven't got time.
We are not just yet. Wait till you're called, okay?
Yep.
We don't
I'll let
want
you know.
people diving into other people's time. Mick's big on making sure everyone gets enough time and a fair go for everyone.
Yeah, Shane Lockie and Brad Hill.
Yeah, well, last night
That's pretty, eh?
Shane went a few rounds last night, then had to buy back in, but he also had a good crack on the Friday night too. So he's been really enjoying the Love Truck the last few weeks.
Love's a good, they're a good property truck.
Deadly in the Rumble 640 class at Kenda as well.
The Yanks love them because they're a chassis, and you can put a small block in them like they reckon they fit better in those than they do in Corvette.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We've got a couple in this country that go pretty well, and Shane's always here with his 648 with a 1.
Yep.
701 for Brad Hill. That's not a bad start for both. Shane ideally wants to just pull that back to a 50 to hand in. Ross Benjamin and Glenn Johnson now. Yeah, that is like a brushed blue finish, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a satin, like
and
a
the
satin.
other one's satin too.
Yeah, it's a couple of satins here.
Yeah. Got a shiny roof for HR, but the rest of it, you have to say satin. Works nicely.
He's in the F class, being 235 street radial aspirator, so she's all engine in that, 698. Glennie Johnson in the G class, being true street radial blown, thanks to Virginia Sheet Metal.
Yeah, it went 709, 103. So,
All right, Peter Gatwood and Toby Howard now. The Volvo is back.
this would just about have you rolling around on the floor.
Yeah, I've had the wagon. I've had a Windsor powered wagon, 265 wagon. I've now got a 2-door. I've got a 242 2-door that one day would be a road trip car. Just engine choice. I'm spoilt for choice, really.
Okay,
I am hanging out for a Dodge NASCAR small block. That's what I'm hanging out for.
Who do you know that's got one of them?
I don't think. All right, J-Class, lanes 4, 5 and 6. So that's the big dial your own, guys. You're going to need 3 lanes.
Yeah, you will.
Dial your own. J-Class, 4, 5 and 6 now, please. J-Class, let's get rolling. 4, 5 and 6. Class J, big dial your own class, 4, 5 and 6.
Here we go. Wayne Sumner and Russell Weaver.
Yeah, he got top sleeper last night, best sleeper.
This is a beautiful car.
You just can't pick it. Like it looks like it's a cruiser, except it goes hard.
Bus hooks up. How about that? 669 at 105 and a 705 at 96.58 over the far side in the Rocket Lane. I've got a couple of littlies out there now, and we never know what they're going to turn up with. Who's G11? You know who that
Mark
is.
Biffin and Riley Biffin, the Biffin boys. Bit of biff from the Biffins.
The Biff.
Yeah, they're amazing machines, the little Golfs. 767's the best so far, I think, for Mark. 773 for Riley. They're loving this slightly colder air this morning.
Yep.
And 767, 773, no slouch at all, the Biffin boys.
No.
I wonder what got the Biffins into the Golfs. I wonder what got them into that.
Yeah. One, only need one in the family, and everybody gets impressed, and everybody needs one. Dave Webber and Stephen Carkeep. This will be interesting. Two of these guys know their way around a drag strip.
Well, Steve's biggest problem is too much horsepower. Like, he's been feathering this thing for 2 days.
Yep.
Because it's just he can just murder the old tyres off it when he nails it, so he's got to really walk it out. Dave Webber's the same. He's had a bit of wheel spin issues. You think with all that weight transfer.
They're big cars, and these guys race.
I think it's got a 440 in this thing, though. I think it's actually a big
it's a
thing.
car. It's a big thing.
Steve?
I mean, I see it everywhere. Everywhere I go, those two cars seem to I do. Have a look at them side by side. 689, 88, I beg your pardon, over a 708 out. You know, what chrome bumper?
Yeah, that's all it was, the thickness of the chrome bumper, and that's basically what the racing's been like all weekend when we've gone into battle.
Yep.
Sven Harvey and Luke Redpath now, one of our hot red hatches.
Isn't that a good-looking
I'm
thing?
calling out Perry Bullivant, of course, ex-Snickers racer. He's got a hatchback in his shed, but it's a full-tilt cross-rev LS in it and a 6-speed Tremec. So it's a super hatch. 709 for Luke, 863 for Sven, but yeah, it's hard to get Perry to
Get it out.
to compete anymore. We've got to really crack the whip on him and shame him into coming back out one day, the Candy Man.
Absolutely love to see that car and him again.
Brendan
Thorpe.
And Cliff Broadman. Cliff, how can you forget the VK?
It's an attention getter. I'm glad I didn't have to mask it up.
No, that was a great hand-painted job there. 717 for the VK, 786 for the long roof. No slouch for Brendan Thorpe. Our long roofs, as I said, we've always got to do an Aussie tough list and put them into things like vans and pickups and wagons.
Shane Cameron, that's beautiful, that blue meanie. Gee, that's
It
a nice
is.
looking car.
Shane Oakhill, of course, this 49 pickup.
That is no slouch.
No.
I mean, he used a lot of track there. He drifted to the left, which is unusual. But he got there.
Nearly identical ET, 782 with a 5, 782 with a 6.
Break my heart.
Yeah, they're both in the H class, but we're now asking for the J class. Dial your own to lanes 4, 5 and 6, please. All right, Tim Byrne and Wes Bauman, their first pairing, their first run of the day.
Looks like
God,
it
just
could be
immaculate Fords
Yeah,
again.
it could be a genuine.
I hope they all come out to the All-Ford Day in July, 16th of July. So if you want to see over 1,200 Fords on display, the All-Ford Day here at Willowbank on the 16th of July. 7:30 and a 7:47.
Nothing in that. We're talking tenths of a second. Okay, Carl Meagle.
Yeah, that's that Fairlane and Mark Stone.
Oh, that's green, isn't it?
It's very green. It's you can get onto any work site that pretty much. It's nearly the full high vis.
Yeah, mate. A lot of effort being put into the colour.
As is this. I tell you what, I hope this Fairlane turns up at the All 4 Day. It'll blow people's minds. I really do
Well,
think.
any Fairlane was only 2 doors. Got to get everybody's attention. Awesome cars in Superstock, 429s and 427s. Running in the Superstock wars back in the day. That was Ford's answer. Chrysler had an answer. Chev had an answer.
That's back when manufacturers cared about racing.
Yeah.
James Pezdirich and Mark Malloy. Mark Malloy in the XD Ute, and he's the XD Sedan. Wally Booth, yeah, they had a crack there for a bit. 717 and 736. That was the first name that popped ahead when I heard AMC.
Mate, straight off, you got it right.
Again, generation gaps. No one else will know the old stuff too much longer. H22 out there all weekend. You could be Christopher Skase as far as we know. Sally Hamilton beside.
Is he still alive?
He could be, you know, he's decided to just go low key and hang out with the Aussie car scene. It's pretty low key. Well, I know Sally was out there zinging the tyres, having a bit of fun. 7:16 for Skasey. Peter Foster.
Yeah.
We'll give him all the elusive people's names. All right, here we go. Brendan Cherry, I think this got That's Tough award last night, and who can argue? Craig Stokes with his Mustang. He's in the H-Class, the True Street Radial aspirator. Brendan Cherry, well, it's 265 Street Radial blow, any which way you look at it.
That's tough as well.
646 at 109, sounding probably really tough down the end with the huffer. 738 for Craig Stokes.
Yep. Yeah, if you want a sound symphony, go to the finish line.
Yeah.
Listen to some of the blown cars come through.
Even when I was down in the Loos there yesterday and hearing them come past the grandstands, just thundering down.
When they got some RPM up.
We got Matthew Bulkey out there in the big Fairlane and John Zorzo in the BA. Have a look, when you saw them staged together, Matt, remember the old Fairlane used to be a big car?
Yeah.
You have a look at what the
Didn't
BA
look-
looks
yeah,
like
didn't look that
size-wise.
big,
All of a sudden, that Fairlane doesn't look so big anymore.
785, and I missed the other one. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Well, here's the next ones now. Now, Joe Lazaro back in the Commodore, and Paul Travis, the Weber Q.
Yeah,
It's not dripping. It's not dripping bacon fat out of the back of that thing, is it?
No.
I know. I'm just joking.
I mean, he's ready to go surfing straight up this. Out of the way.
That's got everything, that car. It really does. 665 at 104. Talk about a car optioned up. That's optioned up.
It's got everything. Let's go to the. I'm over drag racing. Let's go to the beach.
I'll have a VH wagon with all the options.
Yeah.
What you want the one with the barbecue on the tailgate? All right,
And, it's got to have the surfboard too.
here's Shane and Wade Moran. So the Morans.
The Morans. One loves Fords, one loves Chevs.
I think they both love blue.
And certainly, it almost looks like the same blue.
There'll be a gate job here. They'll be trying to hold shot each other. That's what it'll be. Wade's done it there. Yeah, the boys are in the pointy end of Group 2 racing for a while, but now I think the street cars is where you get a little bit more bang for buck and you can use the things a lot more. 749 and a 724.
Yeah.
Got to have a car that you can use a lot. Daniel Careless and Rob Wilson. Well,
Rob Wilson, the biggest piece of glass in automotive history.
I do love it. A whole bottle of Windex it takes to clean that.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully he gets out to Mopar Sunday, which is later on in the month of July.
Plan to be there?
I will be on the late shift. Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't tell me that.
685 for Daniel Careless, 861 for Rob Wilson. Yeah, I'll be doing Kent to Sydney on the Saturday, and I've got to fly up Sunday morning to do Mopar Sunday.
Oh, well, there you go. I'll wait
So
for
you'll
it.
have to do the early shift.
Oh, we can for it.
Yes, Ben.
Ray.
Yeah, Ray Godwin in the XT, I think it is, and another VH Goon, 786 for him, 812 for Ray in the Ford. Here comes Cassidy now, real quick. Quick draw Cassidy here.
Okay, Cassidy Curley, in the big truck, the Raptor. And what have we got? Dean Heike.
Yeah, that shooter.
It's a good looking thing, isn't it?
It's got that real old gangster feel about it. You know, the old Bonnie and Clyde sort of feel about it, except they never, if they had this thing, they might have got away. 804 at 86 mile an hour. 918 beside for quick draw Cassidy Curley.
Well, I can remember, I think they wrote a letter to to Henry saying thank you for we always try and steal one of your V8s.
Yeah, we love your V8s, Henry. We steal them every time. Andrew Dunnett and Lee Warnes having their first crack of the day. Dunnett went many rounds last night in the Dial Your Own Challenge thanks to QCL.
It's a nice valve. He was out this morning. I saw him going to get some fuel.
I saw
I come in.
I saw a few of them going for a little journey. Oh, nice big left-hand wheels dangle. The HQ of Lee Warnes, and he hit the stripe together. 664 for the HQ, 677 for the Valiant Utility.
So it was all in the reaction time.
Yeah, just out like a rocket. 151 for the Ute in the 60-foot, 155 beside.
Yes, Treen.
Treen and Janine.
So the ladies are back.
Treen and Janine.
And have you got both of them written down?
I do have Treen and Janine there. It was actually last night, it was Sharon. Sharon that got closest to the mystery ET. Remember the F truck went down and then we're looking for the closest ET, and Sharon had it within a tenth.
Wow.
She got herself about 44 gallons of Jack Daniels last night.
That sounds right.
And then we had to tell her that the conditions of winning this prize, you had to drink it all tonight before you left.
Yeah, she said, yeah, it makes sense. I remember she got out of there pretty quickly with that bottle.
We may not see Sharon here in the X-Trail just yet. Rowan Ward and Grant Carpenter out here. So we are into the J class, which is the big Dial Your Own A class, thanks to SFM Concrete Pumping and Spraying. And Rowan Ward, another show's quality car. They're all pretty much, well, look, we've got a bunch of raddies, and then we've got a bunch of raddies, a whole lot of fatties, and so much show car, it's not funny.
That was a good race. 683 against the 7 flat.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Reaction time's a little bit off, but doesn't matter right now. Jeffrey Marshall and Darryl Pete. So Jeff Marshall with his F truck. Plenty of big F truck action here too.
Yeah.
Darryl Pete.
And the Kingswood with the compulsory release line.
Not quite a sleeper until you take the wall wheels off and get rid of all bonnet protrusions, and then you can be a sleeper, but it's still tough cruise.
Yeah,
790.
Nothing wrong with that.
999 for Jeffrey. Last night he dialed in 10 flat, so there you go, 999.
Yeah, he'd be happy with that.
All right, Burnett is back there with the Beetle. So Brendan Burnett and Roger Nelson.
And you never know with the Beatles. You just never know. Some of them are packing 2.3 litres of Porsche. You just don't know what you're going to come up against.
If there's one legacy from Adolf Hitler that continues to stay cool, it's the Beetle.
Yep. They will be the Beatles car. But, well and truly love them, and you just never know with them. 779, thank you very much, and a 799 this side for Roger Nelson.
Honestly, when you think about it, like the V-dubs have been embraced by the hippies and the peace lovers and everyone.
And
then when you remember back to who created them, it's amazing they're not cancelled.
Yeah.
It's amazing we haven't cancelled the VW Beatles because of their history.
Yeah, it's sort of like, just because Hitler invented you, we're forgiving you.
We're going to in today's culture, because of Adolf Hitler, no one should be driving Beatles because of what he did. But at the end of the day, the Beatles have lived on way longer than Adolf did. Tony Rogers and Joshua Cronin. Now this he won showstopper last night, this hot rod, and it's very easy to see why. 726 with an 8 and a 730 beside. And Josh Cronin, look, guy wouldn't even be 30 yet when he turned up.
I think I know.
I accused him of driving his father's car, but everyone said, no, it's his car.
Well, his dad's a hot rodder, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, well, there we go. Here's Sharon. Sharon's back. Big bottle of Jack Daniels somewhere. David Tansel beside. They're in the J class, as we said, the Dial Your Own class, 70-odd in the class, I think. It was a huge category.
Yeah, big run. Rolled it out nicely, thank you very much.
Sharon's got an idea of a number for the X-Trail. We don't know what it is. Neither do we know David Tansel's. Only they know. 763 and a 1099. 10 seconds in the 8th for an X-Trail.
Yeah, that's not to be sneezed at.
No, not to be coughed at. Dorsey Pollard and Michael Smith, another one that cannot hook this thing up, but it still loves picking the wheel up. Him and Brad Keane need to match race each other once. I want to see double dangle.
Almost double dangle.
Just walked out across the line. It's going to be quick.
Yeah, that's fast pass. 630.
114 mile an hour.
Give me a break.
758 at 95 for Dust. You'd love to do 114 in the quarter, Kerry, let alone the 8th.
Yeah.
Like, they're crazy. All right, the XF, Scott Higgins, Andrew Pryor, this Dial Your Own category. Rolling classics right now, folks. You wouldn't think years ago that you'd rate any cars from the 80s or 90s as being collectible, but they are.
They just don't make them anymore. They don't make anything like them anymore.
No Commodores or no Falcons anymore, so every Commodore and Falcon, maybe except the last Commodore, are collectible.
Yeah.
Scott, and you know what, even that last Falcon, would you believe, they reckon it was probably one of the best on a world stage, probably one of the best Falcons they ever did.
Yep.
And they even, and you know what, they didn't sell too many of them, but they had 4-cylinder Falcons at the end, and they were nearly a 14-second car as they were, the 4-banger ones. Brett McElveen and Jason Mears, another VH long roof. And yeah, rolling museum pieces here. The old HQ, as I said, the day I'm wary of an apocalypse, I don't see HQ holding it at extra. I know that the world's coming to an end. 686 for Jason Mears and an 804 at 84 mile an hour there for McElveen. Here's this
F1
cranky pickup again in that satin purple. Is it a purple?
It's more purple than it is blue.
That's nice colour. Scooter March, of course it's Scooter.
Yep.
Tony Carkeet, the EH, just looks so tough.
Beautiful car.
A little understated, but then it's got more wheels on it. A really tiny air cleaner out the wood, but geez, the EH classic shape. Both classic shapes. How good's this on a Sunday? 791 and an 839.
And that one looked good.
Okay, there's the call for our manual transmission cars. So the MB and MA cars to lanes 2 and 3. MA and MB to lanes 2 and 3, please. Anyone with a clutch pedal that's competing, lanes 2 and 3, please.
And Daniel Dull.
Robbie's first crack at the day, 827 for him, and Dully, 985 for the Stato.
Yep.
So we need manual transmission cars, MA and MB cars, lanes 2 and 3. Lanes 2 and 3, please.
Okay, High Weir.
I reckon it's Hugh.
I reckon
High.
it's Hugh too.
And Reese Baker. All right, here we go. We are turbo something on board the blue one. Let's have a listen to this.
Lots of RPM.
Very striking car. 783 at 89 mile an hour. Just the dark wheels, the dark paint. 922 there for Reese.
Can't complain about that.
No.
Nice car.
Plenty of tonneau covers out here today. Here's another one, the XD utility of Justin Ritchie, and beside him, entrant J74. We never quite got the details for this one, but we've got 2 late model Monaros here this weekend.
One of them waited a long time for the rain. So maybe the first going on.
Gets up and goes. 703 at 109. Might be near one of its quickest passes. 934 for Justin Ritchie beside.
I think if I was ever going to build a car that's artificially aspirated, I think I'd build a nitrous car.
Yeah, well, it's...
I think it's because you can control it so much.
You can, and the more cubes you put in, the more power you can make, obviously. Anthony Wilkins and Matthew Gormley getting hang of the Gem there on the lead. The 55 is already at the 660, 892. The Gemmy, 766.
Big weight, but when it finally came on boost, took off. Yeah, I think about it. Not that I'm going to do it, but I mean, I think about this stuff all the time. Because old men haven't got a lot to do during the week, you know. It's, you know, you just sit around, and if you don't think about something, you just go crazy.
Yeah.
So I think about some silly shit sometimes, but anyway.
Oh, mate, I just think about plumbing, 50 plus hours a week, mate. That's enough to...
That's enough to send it. Well, now I know why you're crazy.
Yeah, because of that.
Because of that.
You know, if I have a big day, if I have a big week at work, I'm going to have a hell of a call on the weekend. And I like it that way. Matt Cutler now in his hot rod, and beside here is Emma Johnson.
Just sneaking in now.
Oh, again, look at that immaculate,
beautiful
VP with Simmons.
Mate, how pretty is that thing?
Just a little bit, nearly candy apple. Nearly candy apple, the VP.
It's just got a little bit too much maroney in the thing.
It says VNSS. No, there's a grill change that makes them look like VPs.
No, who cares? It's a nice car.
849 and an 840.
Wasn't much in that.
Yeah, VNSS, I call it a VP. It's just, I know maybe the VNSS got that little bit different grill treatment on them. Still, the lines have grown to be classic lines.
Yes.
Thomas Stevens and Amity Smith now. Amity, the X5.
And doing very nicely, thank you very much.
Doing it in luxury. Thomas Stevens doing it in 1970 luxury.
Just about.
plenty of room in those things. 8.25 at 86. He's legged it all the way to the quarter just about. And 10.09 there for Amity.
At 68.
So our manual transmission vehicle should be in 2 and 3. All right, Murray Johnston and Stephen Smith. So
Stephen getting pretty frantic.
yeah, the HQ. He's in the J classes being,
Just shows you how big his face is.
yeah, big Stato. Murray still
And turn the
Yeah,
tyres.
yeah.
Leave me alone.
HQ, no time. I think he might have gone way early.
And we've got a 906 at 79.67 mile an hour for the big car of Murray Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the HQ there, whether he just off he went.
I sort of said red at the first amber, I think.
Yeah, he went before the tree was thrown. He got in. He thought he was in shootout mode or something.
and let's go.
Because last night,
that was
as
pretty
soon
good
as you
tree.
put that second bulb on last night
it
in
was a
that
quick
Dive Your
tree.
Own challenge, as soon as you put that second bulb on, it was on. We're throwing that pro tree both sides last night, and he just left in
This is a
God
family
knows where he
thing.
left.
This is a family thing next time. Terry and Beth, Mansfield French.
Oh, now a Sunday morning outing for the Mansfield Frenches.
Yes, so they're out having a crack at each other. So maybe they had a blue last night.
No, I don't think they can.
Well, maybe they'll have a blue after this.
I think they're past that. They've been
Oh,
doing it for
okay.
too many
You
years.
think they're used to it now?
I think they're cool with it.
Oh, that's good.
know.
I have no reason why. to
I
they would.
think Terry wanted to put a few more cubes in the wagons, and Beth said why not. So now he's up. I think from memory it is like a 557 or something in this thing.
Okay.
It's actually a big
Nice
block
car.
forward.
Gee, it's a nice thing.
Beth Mansfield French. I still don't know what's lurking under the bonnet of the Capri. Could be a nice little Windsor or something. Who knows? Oh, look, nearly identical reaction times. You can almost frame that time. It's nearly 398 to a 399.
7:31 to an 8:16.
I think we've seen Beth into the sevens before. Terry 7:31 in the wagon. I think we've seen him go a bit harder too.
I think
All
she's
right,
sneaking up to it.
time for a bit of clutch pedal action. Danielle Brady and Steve Reichiert.
Yeah, Danielle Corolla.
The little K70, which I now believe has got the K24 Honda on board.
Okay.
And
Danielle is out and gone.
yeah, 728. Where's it all going to end up today in this class?
Oh, mate, I don't know. 968 for Steve, and I think he won't be happy with that. That car probably is a light year faster than that, but lost traction and lost control.
It's
Mark Quinn.
it's a hard class actually because you once you
Okay, boys.
once you nail the gear changes, it's pretty good. All right,
And merge. Come on, guys. We're going to close it very shortly. Whatever it is you want. You need something from this event. So head over to merchandise and spend some money because some of that stuff is specialist for this event. So please go over and support us. We need all the help we can get. Yeah, I mean, once we put in an invoice, we nearly send them broke, so.
so you've only got roughly around 2 hours before that that tent gets packed up. So go and grab that Road Trip Drag Challenge merchandise. That great variety of colours, the great style and all the different colours. It looks great. Grab a memento. Grab a couple of extras for Christmas.
Yep.
And who's this? Peter Savage.
Yeah, he's being savage. Listen to that car. Tyler Davies says, well, I'm up here on stage. What are you doing, mate?
Oh, what's he
we
got on the
everything.
back here? He's got his rake.
He's got his rake.
Is
and
it? Can we
and
take the rake out?
And they're going, no, that's not going
They're
on.
saying, mate, that's how tight the rake's in there. I don't. Oh, there we go. He's going to get it out
He's
now.
going to get it out.
He might be up on rake charges
Yeah,
shortly,
he is.
actually.
Yep. Sorry, mate.
You know, okay.
That's not happening.
Well, let's scrap that idea then,
Yeah,
Pete.
that
The fun police has shut him down. It's not often you have to fold up a rake with a flag on it for JK Fitting. Tyler Davey beside. Oh, got him.
Whoa, bouncing.
That's a whole lot of fun. Both cars, anything with a manual gearbox is 15% more fun. $7.98 and 70% more work to fix. $7.98 and an 860. Yep, you'll be working on them a lot more than you will the autos, but the fun's there, isn't it?
Yep.
Danny Martin and Shara Hoskin. So we are in the manual transmission classes, brought to us by Lockyer Automotive. She's getting good at this, Shara. She's loving this.
I think that's the last
Well, there we go. That's a good one for Danny Martin. 681. Shara goes through for an 888.
Yep. Yeah, I think, 1971 was the last manual car I bought. I got lazy after that.
There we go. Well, nice little match up here. Four-cylinder diesel radio and Ryan Fegan, the Bullet. You never say that a radio, you go, geez, that's a good-looking radio. You don't really hear...
Yeah, and it is. It's a great-looking radio.
I've actually been to radios, and I think this is literally its own radio.
Yeah, I think he's got it all together. Oh, Sooty as well. Big manually changing.
How good's that? A 755 for Ryan Feek and an 867 for Paul Thompson.
I still look at those cars and say, how do they get a V8 in those things?
Yeah.
How do you drive one with a V8 in it?
They're tucked in there in the Bullets. That's the 13B version, of course. Yeah. Caleb Hall and Daniel Ridge. Oh, bog.
Oh, no, he's heard it.
Caleb might have snapped something then. That's not good. Daniel Ridge gets to the other end, an 848. You do know our start line officials always need to be on the lookout when the manual cars come out, ready to. You almost need to warm up and do your pushing exercises, because somewhere in the category, the manual transmission category,
someone's going to break something.
It's going to be something. Now Ryan Fegan broke some stuff yesterday. We've had a couple of output shafts go already in other cars.
Well,
this would be
the most savage thing on a manual transmission that you could possibly imagine. I'm just looking at the tramp there. You can see how that car was trying to work.
And we've got cars. He's found the gear, so it might be a CV or something. You know, he hasn't obviously broken the transmission in this case, but he might have broken a CV. Obviously hasn't broken the diff, but it might be with the cars with IRS. You can do a stub axle, you can do a CV or a half shaft.
There's lots of things.
So you can do things, and you normally get pretty good feedback through when you've broken something, because something will rattle or bang the floor when it's broken.
Heard something.
So it hasn't lost the drive shaft, or hasn't done the prop shaft because he was able to go back. Hasn't really broke the gearbox because the thing had gears.
He might have broken the first, second. He might have broken the forward-going gears.
He had some gears left anyway.
Yeah, he had some left.
He's got something to get home with anyway.
Pat down the road in reverse.
Pat Shaw and Mark Pennycuick. Again, what is it with our stick shifted utes? Let's just let them rip here. Let's just let these guys rip.
I must admit, my XW was a lot of fun. A V8 with a 4-speed back in the day. Everybody just looked at me. But I must admit, it was a lot of fun. I used to practice my clutch and shifts.
Just bang them through, Kerry.
Just bang them through, and you could. The second or third was always the hardest shift to try and pull off.
Still is, isn't it?
Yeah.
902 and a 910. All right, the little junior actually won a model of Fireball in the raffle last night. Jason Cross in that immaculate XW, I think it is. 910 at 78 mile an hour, 1024 for the MR2. Oh, here we go. Scotty Clibborn. Scotty Clibborn in the rotary Corolla up against McLeod, rather. I knew it was a
Oh, somebody went
Yeah, comes out 1.67, 42, so he's gone right off the throttle there, Scotty. I thought it was going to be something a bit quicker than that. 8.45 beside there for McLeod. So the manual transmission class, exciting stuff. All right, the lanes are empty. All right, so we have empty lanes. No, we're just waiting for a call to see who we put back in again. So that's just what we're at the moment. There you go. So all the manual cars running today are in dial your own. They're in dial your own mode.
And we've just been told if you want to have a run, get in the staging lanes and have one.
All right. So the lanes are now open for anyone that hasn't had a run to come in, and even if you've had one, I think you can come and have another.
Yep,
if you want.
absolutely.
So,
what a great deal.
Yeah, it's just this day 3, as Mick had already described at the briefing, that a few guys are just going to do that run and pack it up, and that's it for the day.
Yep.
They might want to hit that number a little bit harder before they pack it up, but it's just one of these days that won't be. All right, there we go. 45 minutes before the coffee van closes up. So.
Well, I mean, if we said that, he should send up a couple.
Well, I'm going to go down and. Do you want one?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab some donuts here as well.
I need all the help I can get.
Well, I will go down and grab that right now, Kerry, if that's the case.
You want some money?
No, mate, no. We've got the right shirts on for that.
Okay.
But yeah, just to call out for those that want to come and have another run, the lanes are there. Junga Bunga's up for another run in just a sec. But also, too, just don't forget, get down to the Road Trip Drag Challenge merchandise tent. Won't be open all day either, but go down and grab that merch while you can. Because, yeah, they'll be wrapping it all up a little earlier today.
Yes, and there's some nice merch there, totally unique to this event. So make sure you go down and invest in that. It's always good to look back and say, yeah, I got that shirt, and there was only 200 of them. So it's always interesting. We've got a little bit of a break in front of us before we bring some out, but not long, so don't go anywhere. How are you guys over on the hill there, all sitting back looking nice and relaxed? Is it nice in the sun? Oh, well, 2 of yous are right. Okay, the kids enjoying it? Excellent. That's what we want to see. How about you guys over this side? Oh, you look like you're awake. Yeah, how big was last night? It was good. I had a couple who thought last night was pretty flash. Good on you. I wish I could still do it. I can't do it anymore. I think at about 40, you can start to slow down. When you're looking at 80, you really got to slow down. As long as you're having a great time, and that's what this event is about. Whether you're a competitor or a spectator, it is about having fun. This is about the most laid-back event that you can come to, where we are quite serious about the results and all the rest of it, and the racing. But we seem to be able to do it with a smile on our face. We seem to be able to take a little bit of the intensity out of the deal. So it's one of the events that I really look forward to. And I'll be really disappointed the day he says, Dig, you're too old, mate. You just can't do that anymore. So I'm hoping for a couple more years anyway. Now you guys are going to come back, aren't you? You're going over the other side. Okay, sit on. Well, no, mate, he's never going to make it. That was close. Wish I had reflexes like that. Long as we're not losing you. Here we go, we're back again. Let's see what's going on. Yep, I can just see the screen. That's David McLeod over the other side, or at least I think that is, and Scott Kilbourne. No, that was the last race. It's Jack Williams and Michael Shannon. So Jack Williams this side in the ute. Michael Shannon over there on the long roof. Getting out of there very nicely too. Yeah, a 678 at 109 and a 730 at 96.2 this side. So they're starting to rock and roll a little bit. So Michael Balke coming in this side in the beautiful Fairlane. And in beside is Toby Howard. A little bit of Tirana action coming your way. Gee, that's green. Very careful in the staging. There is a time limit, sir. Mission 667, 108.63 in the 8th. That is impressive. 820 at 85.87. for Michael Bulkey. So the boys are starting to lean on him a little bit. Matty Loy's back in the wagon. And Kevin Morton in beside. Gee, that thing of Kevin Morton's is amazing, isn't it? Who would have thought you could get a Tirana that straight to put black paint on it? That is just an amazing looking car. And anybody that's ever tried to put black paint on something knows how much work you've got to put into the body so it works. It is the most unforgiving colour of all. Got out of there. Fairly serious with their reaction times. Bit of a race going on here. 6:53 this side, 6:47 over for Kevin Morton over your side. So they weren't messing around. And I love it when these guys, they don't have to race, but they get in there and have a real hard go. Tim Cross and Ryan DeRue. So young Ryan in the ute. And Tim Cross in beside. Gee, that's a pretty car. Little bit of a glass roof in the top. And it looks like it's got a, oh no, it's the frame. For a minute there I thought, gee, somebody's put a bead in the roof for that piece of glass. How cool was that? Well, we're bumped in now. Deep staged. Wow, we got out there all right. Go red. We all worry when they deep stage that they may go red. He handled it perfectly. 6:28 for Ryan DeRue and a 6:52 for Tim Cross. I hope they're happy with that. It was good to watch. You're back, mate.
Yeah, look, mixed results.
Mixed, what do you mean? The coffee's not
They're
good?
out of donut mix.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So you're going to go hungry?
Well, yeah,
I mean, I don't...
a little bit of my world collapsed just then,
Yeah,
but that's
I know,
right.
I mean, yeah, and it's hard, especially when you're looking forward to donuts.
Well, and she said, we're out of mix. It's like, oh, God.
Oh,
Shortages everywhere.
I'm surprised you came back.
Well, I've got two beautiful coffees. Well, look at these things. Aussie streetcars. Queensland streetcars. Queensland, 552 to a 583.
That was a race.
Now, that's entertainment.
That was beautiful.
All of this is just pure entertainment, but to them, it's just people using their own cars. These are in the garages of Queenslanders everywhere.
Shane Locke in love and Jesse Ferguson over beside, and I've got a little Corolla wagon.
Yes, 3RZ on board, the Hilux engine. There's a few of those out in combos, and Shane Locke relies on the good old small block Chev to get the job done.
Well, it works all right.
Jesse's out there sending it. Loxy's already there, 652 with the 6. You can almost bank that one. 652 with a 5.
Oh, get out of here.
What is it with all these nearly identical ETs with completely different engine combos?
Yeah, it would have been great if they'd have left together.
Wow, this is it, variety with parity. It is showing up more and more in this grassroots, in someone's garage level. It's exciting that it can be in someone else's garage. We don't pull a rule book out, but we go down the track and we're 100th away from each other with different combos. Mark Biffo Biffin.
Okay.
Oh, Biffo, call him Biffo now. There we go. Biffo and the GDI.
Yeah, it went 775 and it was 708 over this side. And we're doing a little bit of work on the track there for a second.
Just a little tweak. We've got plenty of cars in the lanes. Once we've opened the invitation, we've filled the lanes
it
right up.
doesn't take much, does it, eh? So we've got Jerry Keane and Tim Byrne.
Oh, I'm keen to see Jerry.
Yeah,
I'm
well, you got 'em
really
both.
keen to see Jerry.
Well, you got them both.
Yeah, okay, folks. So, look, I'm going to put the kiss of death on him here, but everyone keep an eye on Jerry's left-hand front wheel. Let's look at his front wheel. Let's just focus, everyone. Focus on his left-hand front.
Two-door Tirana.
And
oh, what happened?
We might be able to give him the chance. We might be able to give him the chance. We could have thrown the tree, thrown the red, thrown the tree. He's found it. Okay, Tim. Anyway, are we still looking at Jerry's wheel? Right, so everyone look at Jerry's left-hand front wheel. Righto, let's just see where that ends up here. Oh, it came down early. It just tipped it early, but last run it dangled that thing for a couple of 100 foot. I love a good dangling front runner.
Yeah, why not? 658
love-
over a 746.
Love a dangle. Love a dangle.
Yeah, well, we've been watching it for a long time, mate, and there's still stuff that they do.
Oh, Silky's
Never
yesterday.
stops.
Silky in the data yesterday, 300 foot with the left-hand wheel in the
Just
air.
in the air, and you go,
Just a
"Give me
little bit.
break. Give me a break.
It did not start rotating until 300 foot. Greg Barrett and John Oliver, real steel.
I mean, these things have got number plates on them.
And they're all ASPO, these ones. 649 with an 8. Oh, so close to the 50. 643.
No, that was good.
It's
This
just
is a nice tonner, isn't it?
It's just a coincidence we got that many cars that can go 640, 650.
Well, they're building for a class, and we don't care which way they do it.
Oh, they work. Daniel Henry now and Jake Wakefield, the HQ Trayback. Another run, he can't keep him away. He's in the D class being 265 Street Radial ASPO, thanks to Trailers and Spares. And Daniel Henry that hits the stripes first, he's in the E class, 235 Street Radial Boulogne.
Yeah, 716, so at 102 and a 763 at 90.13 this side. These guys are not messing around. So we got now Chris Adams living beside Aris. Oh, you'll never get that.
Cantolian.
You got it right.
But here's the other sunroof. Jerry Keane with the sunroof.
Yeah, and
Chris
nitrous.
Adams with the sunroof.
Yeah.
I think there's another sunroof in a hatchback somewhere.
think you're
Something's
right.
telling me there's
Yeah, I think
another
I've seen
one.
3.
There's a hatchback with a sunroof. We've got to see if we can count the third hatchback, the third sunroof. And then also how many roof racks we've got to count.
Yeah, we'll have a look at this little data.
Aris wants 650 something. Adams!
That kid's moving around on him. He's got a little bit of work to do. I mean, he got there with his 651, which is about as good as you want to be.
That's a
but
good
mate,
number.
he worked hard for it.
Yeah, Adams 543 for the Dado. We had an earlier 540. Had some sweet love right there in that car. He's had that for years, Chris Adams, in that combo. It's very stout. We know of so many other little stout combos in Queensland in the 4-cylinder ranks. We're rich with all of that. 4, 6 and 8, we've got it. Old school, new school, you name it, we've got it.
Everybody tries something.
LSA and an LSA SLE, tell that to the Yanks. You should see this guy who's got an LSA and an SLE and they wouldn't know what we're
you're
talking about.
I tell you what, it goes nice. 656 at 105.56. 721 over this side, 94. I mean, they're not messing around.
I spoke to this guy. He said you got a guy down there. He's got an LSA in an SLE. What's that mean?
Yeah, and mate, it would confuse them. Jeff Marshall in beside Rowan out there.
Oh, 644 with a 6 for Rowe. He's going to love that in the Centura, the Mopar Tirana, and 954 for Jeffrey F. Truck Marshall.
Well, we've got a couple more. We just keep bringing them out. We keep finding them.
Hot Holdens. Terry Cope's got a hot Holden. He's got the Kingswood. Luke Redpath. Well, it's a hot red hatch. Honestly,
That is
this
great.
man does not need a Ferrari. You do not need it in Australia. You do not need a Ferrari if you have this.
And I think our HZ might have a problem.
I hope you're all right, Terry. I hope you're all right. He's just nothing seems to be coming out of the car, but he's just
Nah.
limping it down.
It's like we might have lost a gear, or something's going.
He
clunk,
is
clunk.
on the spray, so anything
Yeah.
could happen, you know.
Just about you can hear it going clunk clunk.
Okay, we surveyed 1,000 blokes in Australia, and if you had the choice of owning a Ferrari or owning a hatchback Tirana, they all said hatchback Tirana.
Yeah, Ferraris are hard work.
They are they?
Oh, mate, they've got to be in there. They've got to be in for a service every 500 miles.
But you know what?
At $1,000 a shot.
I'll give you an interesting insight. I'm lucky that in my family, my uncle owns a Ferrari, owns a 360.
Yeah, lovely.
And he's in the Ferrari club.
Yes.
And Ferrari club, now that's a club.
Well, it's a 10 grand to join the club.
Hello.
10
Have you got a
grand.
Ferrari, have you?
You
She's
got
a
one
Ferrari.
too.
Darling,
So
darling,
is it 10 grand a service?
darling, you probably deserve a Ferrari, but like, you know, look at this fella. Like, you know, he could probably give you a hot hatch.
Mate, I wish you every love with your Ferrari. I really do.
You don't need the Ferrari, honestly. Honestly, you don't.
Nah.
You know what? We get the Ferrari, we put an LS in it. Now someone should barra a Ferrari. That's what we should be doing in Australia. We're going to put a barra in a Ferrari. I know where there's a 2J and a Paul. Luke Cope and Matthew Maloney just boosted,
Yeah,
brilliant.
gee, this is a race.
Real cars owned by
Hey.
real people.
Just
651,
got there.
648. Maloney 51,
Oh, that was
Lukey
good.
48. We're trying to hit the 50 here. Everyone wants a 650.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a 648 with a 9. We're working on it.
Dean Wilson, and again, tributes here. 2J in the ute.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, 2J Glide. Listen to it.
Wow.
I think it's that.
It's a beautiful, beautiful car. Oh, first car that we came out with. That was up in Stuyvesant back in the day. 649, 106 your side, and a 660 and 105.25 this side.
That EK. Okay, that EK and this Corolla. What else can we say?
Oh, this Corolla.
What else can we say? I just got
Scotty Hoffman.
to say Hoffman. I just say Hoffman.
Well, you got it right.
All his life, John Force was haunted by Hoffman, Al Hoffman. This
Yeah,
is
Al
Scott
Hoffman,
Hoffman.
yeah.
Everyone in Queensland streetcar circles, anyone that's a fan of drag racing would appreciate this Hoffman.
Well, Hoffman came out here with funny cars quite a few times.
Well, this
As
is
in days of
this
service.
is Scott Hoffman's own funny car here, the personal roller coaster. Strap yourself in.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's a... How did he hang on to that?
Oh, Hoffman 28 double pedal. 28 with a double pedal. I'm going to watch it straight away on the live stream
mate, can we-
replay here.
Oh, wow.
Wait till you see this on the live stream, folks, later. Grab Overtaking Lane's live stream and watch it from the TV camera angles. And we're looking at the
They've got
Christmas
better
tree
angles.
here on the
Yeah.
replay.
They've got better angles than we've got.
And just then we say, strap yourself in, the world's most spectacular
There's the
personal
tree.
roller coaster.
Whoa, did it
pedal,
get out of
pedal,
there?
pedal.
Wow.
It went... I didn't see what the 60 foot was on it. I don't think we're done. Hoffman wants a 4. They all want a 4. Mate, wouldn't it be good if the 4-second time went off today?
Well, that's got to be
We're
a
running
chance.
out of time.
That's got to be a chance.
We've seen 5-0s. We might have to keep our powder dry. Could happen in Palmyra in 7 weeks. We're going up there for road trip up there.
Andrew Dunnett and Corey Watson.
Even the size of the ute against the
They're
Commodore.
big. It's how big they are.
Even the size of the ute monsters the Commodore from side on. You know, that's supposed to be, that was Holden's Aussie family car back in the late 70s and 80s.
Yep.
And you just see how small it was. 664 and a 682. Like, there's modern Corollas today bigger than the first Commodores, you know.
And we thought
And
they
here,
were
here
good
we go.
cars.
I want to put Janine's big Luxo barge. I want to put Janine's old Luxo barge up against some big cars.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. Matt Francis in beside at the moment.
Why is it that people... I know that's a plumbing phone call, that one.
And they obviously know you don't do plumbing on the weekend.
I've been talking on the weekend, plumbing during the week. Janine Marshall, come on, 10.20 for her. Her and the X5 would be a good race together.
And a 10.25 for Matt Francis.
Or even side-by-side 10-second times are racing is spectacular.
You know me, I'll watch 2 croc races.
Because you know what Vin Diesel says, for those 10 seconds I'm free. And over the 8th you're even more free.
Yeah, Ron Wilson in that big window Cuda.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
And Daniel Careless. Well, I've got to say it right there. Barracuda. They're Barracuda.
I've got to say they're a Barracuda.
Yes, it wasn't until I went to the next body shape that they became Cudas.
So what year was that one?
Oh, mate, it was a long time ago.
No, this one. What was that bubble top? What year were they? 62? They were early 60s, weren't they?
Early 60s, I think. I'll have to have a bit of a think about it. Yeah, mate, my brain gets a bit fuzzy these days. Mark Quinn and Paul Travis.
This is your version of Sudoku, though, Kerry. This is your brain training, mate. This is the brain training we need. We need every old bloke out here to be. This is brain training. Paul Travis and Mark Quinn. You'll never forget a Weber barbecue there in the back of a wagon, would you?
No, I won't forget that.
That's
771 over a 778. Gee whiz.
That's something you'll take home with you after the weekend. I'm taking home a lot of things with me after the weekend, Kerry. Couple of new shirts.
As long as it's not contagious.
Lots of memories.
Roger Nelson and Shane Oakhill. That's a nice truck.
All right, well, look at the size of the Commodore Ute back to a 1949 Chevy truck.
Yeah.
So look, they're almost very similar. The Ute is bigger. Look at the Ute is definitely a bigger vehicle.
It's huge. You don't realise how big these things are.
Especially when you put a 1949 pickup with it. Look at this big old truck, but then a Commodore is the size of the truck.
Yep.
811 to 811's not mucking around. 805 for Roger Nelson.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mind blower, really.
When someone says, please give me a call at your convenience, is that in the next 2 days or is it today?
I'm thinking tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Thanks, mate. Kerry told me not to ring you till tomorrow, Kevin. Kevin! Another Kevin. Daniel Campbell and Joe Lazaro.
You're getting them to ring me, mate. It's not a problem.
Kerry's answering service.
Yeah,
Come on, Barra. Daniel. Here it comes. Here it comes.
I'll probably teach him a few years.
Go!
Oh, yes! And mate, he's just
No.
hung up. Nah, he had to get out of it.
Not 100% happy.
Nah,
It was.
That wasn't tyre smoke.
I just hope that we're all clean out there. Let's go and have a look.
Yeah, that wasn't tyre smoke.
If we're Barra powered, sometimes a heavy breathing Barra results in a bit of fish guts on the track.
Yep.
So let's just see. Hopefully
Look,
that's not true.
They're going to check it from what I'm hearing.
I'd say we might have to.
From what I'm hearing, we're going to have to check that lane. It didn't look like it was throwing anything but smoke out, but you can never really tell because everything's happening so fast.
Yeah,
It's better to be careful than careless.
Remember back in the good old days, you know, when a drag racing, especially in the old top fuelers, you'd see a whole lot of smoke go out one side. You just knew they'd done a piston. You just knew that's a piston.
Yep.
And it'd just haze the air full of smoke, and that was about it. You never quite got stuff to the track.
No.
It was only when the rods came out that you got it to the
I
track.
remember my first rods out pass that I'd ever seen.
They were the first two ever oil down causes, was the bit of a haze of smoke out through a melted piston and rods out the bottom.
The rods out.
And of course, that's a big clean up when it's out there. But you know, anyway, since then, technology's changed. We've got a million ways to send it down the drag
Well,
strip.
they all wear a skirt or whatever they call it underneath them to contain bits.
Yep.
And it's made out of Kevlar, so the bits aren't going to go through it.
It wasn't long before we knew that we needed to contain the bottom, because out of all the motorsports in the world, drag racing's the only one we actually talk about. Well, what happens when you launch the engine? How are you going to catch that?
Yeah.
Do they talk about that in Formula One? Oh, we want to make sure that if this thing blows up, that it's safe. You know?
Well, I mean, they do lose the odd one in Formula One.
Well, I mean, they're only 800 horsepower vacuum cleaners, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Dyson. That's what
Yeah,
it'll
I'll
be.
tell you what, they are impressive little engines.
They are, but when they go bang, it's a little, you know. I mean, when a top fueler goes, baby, she's epic.
Yeah, well, who's ever seen a top fueler let go?
I want to see
The lights.
block splitting action, you know. In Formula One, it's not like they split the block. Yeah, I think we've had a little electrical problem. No, in drag racing, man, I split that thing down the middle.
Yeah.
That crank, it's on the ground, mate.
Yeah, she's not talking
That's
garbage.
that's the way to send it.
Dave Webber and Ian Nasmith.
You can identify as Jan one day if it's Again, in real people's garages, folks,
Well, that was a good
7:09
race.
and 7:35.
Yeah, interesting.
Just bring your automotive freedom and spend a lot of time with family and friends. It's the best fun you can have
I don't know who
on
age
4
20.
wheels, or in some cases 2.
Yeah,
Hoffman.
H22 and Dean Heike.
Oh yeah, this is Scasey again. Yeah,
Yeah,
H22.
this is Scasey, yeah.
Dean
It's a beautiful
Heike.
Well, I don't know who's driving.
Whoever you are, H22, we admire your green car, you man of mystery.
714 over an 806.
Here we go. Brown. It's all. I'm thinking brown. Thinking coffee,
You
coffee
think
flavour,
coffee?
baby poo, mixes of caramel.
Yeah, I think you got it right.
It's a mixture of everything here. Darryl Pete, Andrew Rankin, 3RZ, Mark II Corona, small block HT lady. Catching it from here.
Gee, look at that.
These guys so happy with these combos. I mean, this is what they work for, to have a car that's just yours, you and it, and a whole lot of other guys doing the same thing.
And doing it differently. Scooter March. What a great name. How do you get a name like Scooter?
This place is full of individuals, you know, Kerry.
And Tony Carkeet. And the Carkeet family. That's huge.
They've all made their presence felt over the weekend. We've seen them about 25,000 times each.
Yeah. We should be able to shake their hand and say, I know who you are.
I'm still not bored with them. I thought I'd be
No.
bored with these people.
816 and a 798.
We're having
If
a
you
ball.
missed that, mate, if you're not, go home.
Yeah. Simple. Kerry cuts to the chase. If you're not happy, go home. Reece Baker and Declan McConnell. These guys aren't going home yet.
No way.
They haven't hit the magic number yet.
Oh, come on, Decky, save that. Gee, you are a lucky boy.
He's a P-plate bumper, ladies and gentlemen. A P-plate bumper, and he goes 652 with a 6.
106. You watch his dad give him an attitude adjustment when he comes back.
Trying to
Nice
hit
play.
that mark. Reece Baker 900. Now we've got a bit of LSA action here in the Tirana. 4-door, Venetian in the back, almost carries off the sleeper. Oh, yes, that's right. The LSA doesn't quite fit.
Yeah, it doesn't quite fit. And I'm trying to make it as least obvious as I possibly can. Go 624, 113. Well, not many people are going to see it at that speed. And a 629 inside for, is it Adriano?
Yeah, Adriano.
Adriano.
Bravo,
Rosa.
bravo, Adriano, bravo.
Yeah, very cool.
Justin Stevenson and Luke Redmond. Yeah, just choose your weapon. Honestly, if you want to roll up cool, you don't need a Lamborghini Huracan to roll up cool. You can roll up cool like this, man.
Our lady does.
I know she does, but look, I'd rather be in like a Corona or a fat fastback.
Yeah, when they came out in 69.
Oh, Redmond, 546.
I actually got a ride in one of those the first week they were released.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
Dad used to sell Fords, and I used to work in the used car yard on the weekend. And they said, come and have a ride in this. Couldn't believe my luck.
Yeah, it would have been like a little bit like a spaceship.
Oh, mate, I thought we were stealing
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I'm still getting over the Mark II Corona action out there. Sorry, that's not Mark II. We had the Mark II before. That's the actual Corona from the RT series Corona through the 70s and 80s. Let's go back to 1955 now, though.
You really asking us
1928. Which way do you want to go? Let's go back in time.
It was only 9.
Only 9?
Only 9.
Only a baby.
Yeah.
Had no chance even back then. You were hooked on Broom straight away.
Oh, my parents, if they're rolling in their graves now, they can't believe that I'm so into cars.
Well,
My brother grew out of it. He grew out of it.
I'm nearly growing out of it.
Nah,
I've
never.
only got another 30 years, I reckon, before I'm out of it. Here we go. Oh, actually, it's 30 years over your age.
Yeah, you will. And I'm not over it.
Well, I'm saving me left leg for the clutch pedal. 800 for Tyler Davey and 781 Peter Savage. I want in on that gear jamming action, mate.
Okay. Well, they got these things called hydraulic clutches where the pedal pressure's not that bad.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm using, mate. Occupational therapist recommended that.
Engineering, that's called.
Here's old Sharon the Bourbon Lady horn.
Yep.
Mark Stone in that barely visible HR.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand how you can miss that car, don't you?
It stands out. Imagine
763, leave me alone. And 1105 for Shaz.
They're hard to forget, these cars. They really are. Every single one of them's got their own personality. We don't see too much the same, except we do have the odd twin. Remember, we've still got some twinning going on.
Yeah, we've got a little bit. Danielle Brady down there in her Corolla. And who we got? Michael McGregor.
Oh, this is the top roof rack of the weekend.
Works well. I think that roof rack's been
Yeah, trying to hit the number here. 654 with a 4. 112. He just had that little feather there. That thing can go way quicker.
Interesting. That wagon didn't look like it had a top back window.
No, okay, well.
And that's aerodynamically, that's a nightmare.
You know what I'd like to see the long roof guys do between now and the end? Is get up together. I want to see Junga and the Belmont go heads up. I want to see all long roofs race each other. If all the long roofs can line up, try and race each other, I think that'd
be great.
Celebration of long roof.
Yep, James Tyler and William Yarwood.
Hold on to your hats with the Supra. Just hold on to your hats here. If we can hit the mark here, William, this 2J Supra's going to do another 5.5 here.
Oh, just took the tyres off it. Way too much, way too early.
I still love how dramatic that is when it happens. It didn't hook up, but I just love that display.
What do you say to yourself while you're doing that? You're driving in the end and think, after you've done that, you think, where did I go wrong?
Well, it's sometimes it's that we want to step it up, and if it's the we want to step it up attitude when you come to the line, you've almost got to expect that happens occasionally.
Yes, I think you're right.
When you've got 2,000 horsepower, you can have you've got the luxury. You've got the luxury of needing to adjust that, but
coming off
it does give you the occasional aborted pass. But you've got to hand it to this side of the world. We're doing well with every power plant that's hot right now, and then we're doing it with a whole lot more power plants that not a lot of people are playing with. Our cross-pollination is just really so diverse. And, you know, I see what happens in America. I see what happens in the UK. I see what everyone's into. And Cletus and all those guys, whatever. You know, we're just as cool. We don't have to look up at them and go, wow, that's the Holy Grail. We've got our own Holy Grail.
I think we're in front in a lot of places. I really do.
Oh, absolutely. We know. We've seen it. Oh, and I tell you what, Mike. Wheel up twice on his secondary wheel stand. He'll come off the line, have a launch, and then
I'll do it again.
Squeeze it, and the thing just comes up.
Yeah, it goes 665 at 113.93. And sorry, I missed the other one. I wasn't fast enough. I must be getting old.
Oh, well, here's Beth Mansfield French. Zach Curley's bumping the Barra-powered XD. Barra Taxi.
Gee, this little Capri does some work.
When did XDs become so hot? I think when these big Barras started turning up. That's better. That's going to be better here, folks. Keep your eyes on these. 5:39 for Zach Curley. There we go.
131, nearly 132 mile an hour. Leave me alone. 8:37. Would have heard that coming down the track behind you. That is spooky.
Got to ask the Curleys, can you bring that to All Ford Day? Wouldn't that blow the crowd away?
Wouldn't it ever?
I'd love to personally invite all the toughest Fords we've seen here this weekend to enter on the day to do the All Ford Day drag racing part. You have to be an entrant on the actual day, but that allows you to get on track. We'd love to see you all come through. Those XBs, that fastback, that XD. God, it's Ford strong in this part of the world. They need to be seen by all the other Ford fans on the All Ford Day.
I think you're right. Troy Hewitt and Steve Smith. I was just looking at little cars that went down there then. I'm thinking, man, how cool. When you see the driver out there and how hard they're working. Amazing.
This guy's getting himself ready.
Yeah. Just a seatbelt. A 727 already happened at 94.9. Now I'll tell you what, it was worth a wait. 667, 97.53.
I love watching the body language of the guys that are building up boost and spooling these things to let them go. And then when you see them let them go, how quickly they grab the steering wheel, really desperately grab the steering wheel.
Oh, well, I would be too.
Justin Gall doesn't have that, he can just put that thing in being an Aspo car. That V8 is just one of the best Aspo sleepers around. Left hand front again for Shane Farrell. The H-body hold, it's a gimme, H-body hold. 630 for Justin Gall.
And 678, leave me alone.
That's two 630s with a 2 he's run. Check that out, 2 runs in a row.
Yeah,
630 with a 2, 630 with an O.
Bracket racer.
Oh, but then identical mile an hour, Nelly.
Yeah, Rick Barnes and Michael Sears. That's Michael Sears out on. Toronto Hatch.
Can someone give us a message if they know what's under the hood of the silver hatchback for us for Rick Barnes? Someone just let us know the engine combo.
657 it moves.
We've got about a top 5 of what it could be, but we also like to know what it's got. If anyone knows, I haven't been under the hood. Wouldn't imagine if we came back going, oh, that's just a turbo red motor. Wow, I'd still be blown away.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd still be blown away.
Yeah. Does anybody know what a red motor is anymore?
I used to watch everyone's attempt of turboing red motors on drag strips. I love watching the first turbo six-bangers in Australia. Jeff Kinkton's got a little bit of that. And
I must admit, we never tried that. We tried just about everything else, but we never...
No one knew what these things were unless you drove a truck.
Yep. And that's what you thought they were for. Andrew Pryor and Jeff Kinkton out and going, but Pryor's there with a 10.25. Very impressive, 6.49 at 110 mile an hour for Kinkton. I mean, he waited a little bit, gave himself every chance to get that pass in, kept it clean. And why not? Why not? Cassidy.
I'm going to call it quick draw Cassidy Curley. We better put quick draw Cassidy into something real quick. Good practice in the Ranger, and Matthew Gormley, that little Gemini, giving him plenty of love. 7.56 at 89 mile an hour, but
it's still a 9.39. It's not a stretch for 2.5 ton of fun.
I've been, involved in drag racing over 20 years, made a few passes down the track, but I can tell you now, these people like Cassidy Curley probably got more time splits than I've ever had.
Oh, mate, I never got as many passes as this in. I mean, we had a race car for quite a few years. We won a couple of Christmas trees, so we knew what we were about in those days.
So many more events to do it at now.
And these guys get to practice. That's what I'm trying to say. It's 8.27 for Owen, and Jason Stevens went 7.28.
Goes to show how far we've come because, yeah, now everyone's getting so many more runs. There's so many more runs going down the track.
You know, when I was doing some of that, so I sort of had about a 22-year break from drag racing. Not that I was doing some of that, that's just the way it worked out. Those sort of events that I was drag racing, it took me a little while to get back in the groove when I came back. But I think I've got it right now.
Oh, mate, it certainly also has changed while you're away to the point that it's everyone picked up another couple of thousand horsepower.
I remember somebody saying that, drag racing's not like when you used to do it, Kerry.
Yeah, the horsepower's gone up a little bit.
And I'm looking, well, there's still 2 cars down there.
It's still 2 cars and top bulbs. The top bulbs have not changed.
Yeah, everything was, I thought, only that they were a light year faster.
Yeah, well, even now, these days, if you took something like this back in time, you'd blow everyone away.
Yeah, no one don't say that car's got to be.
Like if you could take, even back in 1978 when the VB Commodore came out, that you could go and run 650s in the 8th like Dangerous Dave out there. It'd beat every car. It'd be like, what is this amazing mega muscle car?
Yeah, it'd do your head in because, with all honesty, we were just scratching the surface when we thought we had a hot car. I mean, I think my little 186 had a 12-port head from P&R Performance and triple inch and 3/4 SUs and a 4080 McGee kit. That was the best.
Yeah, that was the very, very best of the Australian speed industry, and everyone that could afford it got it. And if you were smart, you could do it all yourself, or read the American magazines and learn how to do it yourself.
Well,
701 and 805 out there for Heffler and McElveen.
When I could finally afford a V8. Mate, I couldn't afford to put bits on it. I mean, my first V8 was an XR, 289 and a Cruise-Matic, 2650. Couldn't believe it.
That's locking that up in time now.
I wish I had it.
Shara Hoskin, 859 in the Gemini, improving, and Jason Martin, 797 with a 4 at 96 mile an hour. Yeah, well, even that stuff's fully collectible these days. You ever think about what that was? It's ridiculous.
I've had some collectible cars. I think the next one I bought brand new was an XW Panovan, 302, 4-speed, 9-inch, slippery disc brakes, ER70 tyres. That's how they came from the factory, $3,200. Thank you very much.
Here we go, 1970s Luxo Barge Eliminator.
This girl.
Fairlane at the Statesman. Off to the beach, 2 families off to the beach, and it's the Ford family that gets there first.
Yeah, 833 over an 872.
Love that.
Yeah, wow.
Love the good old days of the family. I don't know, the Fairlanes were for the...
Well, we had a ZD.
Yeah.
Dad, well, he was selling Fords, but he ended up buying a ZD for us. Chelsea Ware, well, he bought it for Mum, and my mum was 4'9.5". Ross.
Yeah, here, Mum.
She did a lot of touch parking.
Have this Fairlane. Have this Fairlane.
Mate, we never straight bumper on it until we took it off her and said we
Thank God for big bumpers back then.
Yeah, she used to touch park.
746 with an 8 for Chelsea in that EH, and so many more runs that she's probably going to put in before she hits the mark. Ross Benjamin, that HR, come back again.
694, I think it was.
In a matter of minutes, I'm sure you will. Steve Carr-Keaton, Toby Howard. Keep rolling on the staging lanes. I can still see it out the back here.
We've got plenty to go.
We're still densely populated, so no one's run out of steam yet.
And we're pretty sure we won't. He's getting better. He's getting better and getting better. I mean, he's got a tough knee inside. That's what Toby Evans is a flyer. He goes 651, 110 mile an hour over an 802 and 95. So what's that, 15 mile an hour? You'd know that was coming past you.
Well, you know what else is going to be coming past us right now? First of all, happy birthday to Junga. Happy birthday to Junga. I forgot how old he said he was, but he's still younger than you.
He certainly is.
He's 20. I think he said he's 27.
Yeah, that'd be about right for Matty.
Little Matty Junga Loy, 27 years old and already over $2,000 in the pocket from Friday to last night.
Knows how to win.
Him and Kevy Morton split the money last night. Tanya Thompson in the other lane took home $1,600 last night. In the, what would we say, the big boys, which we had to change to the big persons to the unisex challenge, and Tanya Thompson won that. So look, Junga was in the E21 class, which is the 235 street radial blown class, but Tanya's in the AT class, which is the Open Outlaw Blown category thanks to Heavy Maintenance Australia. The number she ran before last night, the 5:08.
No, Tanya's looking at something.
That first run today was a mammoth wheel stand. It was quicker in the 60 by about half a tenth.
Yeah.
And then it went into a bit of a power wheelie here. So they're after the 4. This will be another run. Now, right now, I don't know track temp-wise whether or not we're just on the cusp of something here. She's over to the side a little bit. So let's just see. We're going to go to a bit of bump city here. Turbo LS both sides.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, man, what a pass.
Oh, 5:01, 5:01. Tomo, look at Tomo, 5:01.
144 mile an hour.
1-3. It was 1-2 something in the 60.
Yeah.
It was 1-2 something in the 60. 5:01. Our quickest ever pass in Road Trip Drag Challenge. I'm sure it is.
Awesome.
Don't quote me on that, but
Mate, I'd carry it. I'd own it.
we've got a 4-second trophy. Dying to go to someone that runs the first 4, and 5:01.
There may, well, he might go back. There might be a bit more in that car, but that was beautiful. What a great pass. Danny Martin in beside Tony Rogers in the Ute. Yeah, we get extreme. You know, I've been watching this stuff since '75. To line me up like that was perfect.
That was a fantastic pass.
7:27 over a 7:34. Your side for Tony Rogers. He went to 7:34. So they'll sort that out.
We've been seeing that many awesome cars running down the track, and then when you...
I'm done for the day. Can I go home now?
Yeah,
I've
you
seen
probably
enough.
can, mate. That was
Are we
it.
going to see anything better than that?
Well, we might see a 4 before the end of the day.
well, I'll hang around for
I
the
know
4.
that we won't be probably trying to hang around waiting for 3 people by the end of the day, but until they're done, I'm sure we'll keep going.
Yeah, I'll hang on for a 4.
Now, Paulie Fuller, Daniel Dull. So, look, I don't know if Dully's come away with a PB in the Stato, but Paulie Fuller into the 5-1s with the little Turbo LS Gemini. So, let's just see what he can do. He's on a streak as well, Paulie. This little car's a treat.
Hold on, sleeper.
Oh, Dully's gone in.
Yeah, went red. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, no, Paulie just not on the angry button straight off there. It's almost like it came out with no power management at all, or not much.
No.
But Dully went in for the big pro tree moment.
And didn't get it.
And missed his spot.
Yeah.
Missed his spot. Paulie came out and
649
with no power. I'm sure whatever it is, he's a bright guy. He'll just quickly tweak something and come back with that car, I'm sure. But God, that was an epic run. I'm back to Tanya's run.
Yeah. That was righteous. We're in church.
We were.
That was brilliant.
If this is what you do on a Sunday, well,
Yeah, I'm religious.
absolutely.
Here we go. Treen Bangay and Shane Sherman. Gee, that's a nice EH. Well, they're both nice. The Kiwis is probably as pretty as you're ever going to see in that body shape.
Shane Sermon's EH.
He's slipped a little bit. I mean, it's a manual car. Yeah, there was another gear change, so maybe he's got 5 in there. Goes 954, but a 9 flat this side. 72 mile an hour. So they're getting off him in the mile per hour part of it.
Well, I think that's the first one for Treeing today. They just needed to get that run in
Get
there.
a number. Just get a number. Joshua Cronin. Cronin's a famous name around the hot rods and drag racing. And Rowan Ward in beside. I mean, this is a flash hot rod. You got to like this. If you're into hot rods, this is about as hot a hot rod as you're going to get.
I think when you do choose to own a hot rod, you've got the idea in your head exactly what it wants to look like, because you can talk about 20 different types of hot rod.
Oh yeah. Well, they even call mine a hot rod.
But you know, there's tuners, there's roadsters, there's deliveries, there's
It's a great place to play, and I've got to say, a lot more liberal than trying to put it into a chassis-less car.
Yeah.
733 and a 704.
That's not mucking around as a hot rod.
No, that's getting up there.
I mean, over the quarter, that's low 11 sort of zone. You'd
that's
really
tough.
be feeling that in a hot rod.
Yeah, that's tough.
Matthew Bulkey now and Kevin Morton. Kevy just driving Sengi's immaculate black Tirana.
It's a beautiful car, isn't it?
Yeah, the LJ. Beside him, Matthew Bulkey with the fair lane or the LTD. Good look at the tail lights.
Works well. Yeah, 155 through 60 feet. Goes 655 at 100.66 mile an hour. 833 this side at 83.63.
I was just listening to Bulkey's Fairlane / LTD, and it's 6-banger powered.
Wow,
I just heard this.
That's tough.
This little 6-banger going in there, so it couldn't have been Kev, but it definitely was Bulkey's Fairlane. So something also going on there. Terry Mansfield, not the 351. Terry Mansfield, French, and Naomi Vandertop.
Oh, just carries that left front wheel just off the ground, and then it hooks and goes 549, 130.99 mile an hour. I've seen enough. 721, 94.85 this side.
Yeah, coming out there.
I've never seen enough.
The license plate, I moan, and the 2J does do that.
I think she needs a new one. I scream.
Here we go. The Armstrong girls, Ella Armstrong and Mia Armstrong. So hang on. Geez, the Armstrong girls get some pretty tough Holdens to drive.
Yeah, they do. Driving well too.
There's a ton of fun in the Armstrong garage.
Yeah.
729 for Ella in the Ute and 701 for Mia in that hatchback, which is turbocharged.
7 cocoons. So that was Mia's fastest time too.
The Armstrong. You know, this probably beats the hell out of Saturday morning netball, doesn't it? If you can come out there and have a bit of a run.
Yeah. If you want to get that physical.
No, well, these things can be physical. Tony Ferguson getting physical with his 8 setties.
Mate, he had to work that car.
Yeah, so did Ben Roberts, 654 with a 9 to go with his 654 with a 6. And a 646 for Tony Ferguson. He's gone a 648 and a 649.
Yeah, I think he was looking for more than that, but that car said, no, I'm going to have a look at the wall. Just kept going that way. It wasn't out of control, but it just kept moving across the track. So we've got Sally Hamilton in beside Carl Meagle.
Now, Sally, she's been known to break into random wheel spin where she fairly zings it. So let's see if she can get one stuck here. Carl Meagle, it's been going well for him. Moving all of that fair lane at 165 and the 60.
Yeah, I mean, look, 706, 98.98 mile per hour.
And that's better for Sally, 855.
I think she'd be happy with that. Here's our little V-dub back.
Yeah, just little pockets of entertainment, aren't there? Nearly every pairing's got some little oddball scenario, you know?
Yeah, Brendan Burnett. Mate, he's good too. Have a listen to that gear change.
He actually is the best shifter guy.
Well, you can't put an auto in him, but it's a weird deal.
And I wonder why, because honestly, I would have, if he was trophy hunting, Brendan could have gone into the stick shift class with that thing.
And done pretty good.
Just because he's very good on the gears in that thing.
Well, you got no choice.
They've got good little shift stuff you can buy for the gearboxes for the V-dubs. Janine Marshall and Matt Maloney. Maloney is getting so much love out of the Camaro. That's another one of those head turners with that candy apple red paint.
Is.
656 at 111. That thing's dead set low 10s, maybe 9s over the quarter. Janine 10-2-0.
70.
The boys are having fun in their toys.
And the girls.
And the 19 of them.
Yeah. So what do we got now? John Oliver in beside Luke Cope. So we were always called the left-hand lane first because that's how the screen reads. Oh, nice move. Good to see a car with good working suspension for drag racing. It's 649 this side at 104.67. 652 your side at 106.33. That'd have been pretty good in the top.
Yeah, well, they're all trying to do the one thing here, Kerry. It's weird when you look at the qualifying list, just how many numbers nearly all line up. And because of that magic number we were trying to hit, like the 50, that's the slip you got to hand in as close to that. So they got to go looking for it. Luke Redpath back in that hatch.
That is something
or one
else.
of them hatches. And
Isn't
Roger
that good?
Nelson The big white ute.
Took him a little while to get that to move, and it wasn't turning tyres either. It's like he idled it out and then give it a bit of a nudge. Went 809 anyway, 727 this side.
Oh, they're not done yet, these ute guys.
No, we'll keep finding them. And if you like your EKs, you're not going to see a better version of the EK ute anywhere in the world.
Dean Wilson, Matt Francis. So yeah, I think 2J Glide in the, what are we, EK?
Yeah, it's an EK.
And the B2200 got 5.3 LS in it. Matt Francis.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the old girls give them a good account. Got there first.
Wow.
653 over a 656 and 2 mile an hour less. So somebody was trying to drive around him.
God, they're impressive vehicles, considering that no one ever rang everyone and say, what are you building?
No, they all keep it a secret.
No one goes, what are you doing?
Not telling you what.
We all turn up with what you got. Okay, Jerry Keane. Jerry, that's even a better place for me to look at you wheel stand, actually. Let's have a look at Jerry's dangle, shall we?
Yep.
Don't mind us, Jerry.
Dangle.
You just do what you do. You just do what you do, Jerry.
Dangle again. Mate, that is an incredible car. And it stayed straight. It's torqued up like a pretzel. But he just gets it there. 652 at 104.
That's fun.
67, yeah. 647 this side, 105 point something.
If I was Jerry, and it'd be like most guys that have cars that do hang the wheels up, you've got to get those photos from Drag Photos. You've got to get that.
I mean,
in its epic moment, you hang that up at home, you go, yeah, that's me with the wheels up. Yes, that's me. Have I showed you the photo of me with the wheel off the ground?
Joe Lazard in beside Rowan Ellum.
Joe Lazaro, Rowan Ellum, they're not done yet.
The LC Cheera, like I said, I've said it a million times, Chrysler's answer to the Cortina and the Tirana.
I think weight-wise they were quite good too, very light.
Yeah, they grabbed them out of France.
Yeah.
If memory serves me right.
French metal.
French metal with a horrible 4-cylinder in them.
So not real steel.
And then somebody said, let's stick a 245 in one of them, see what happens. They couldn't build enough of them.
God, imagine if they released them in Europe that way. There'd be dead Frenchmen everywhere. Carla Barrett and Terry Cope. Terry's back, whatever it was. It's,
he's having a good ball. He's got it straight in. Geez, he's hugging the centre line.
He's having a ball.
Yeah.
That felt good. 673 at 104 mile an hour, as did Carla, 892 beside.
Yeah. Excellent.
No one wants to go home with full jerry cans.
Obviously.
That's what I reckon it is.
Yeah. You reckon?
Is that the...
I'm going home empty.
Empty fuel tunes. I don't think they want to take the fuel home. They paid for it. They want to keep going.
Ryan DeRue and Andrew Dunnett. Well, Andrew has been driving this car for as long as I can remember.
He's put a tyre in the back. Was that tyre always in the back? It wasn't when he had the tailgate down.
No, I don't think it was.
Is that the almost going home? Is that the almost going home deal? Probably.
I'm doing this one.
I'll put my spare back in now. Dunnett might be on his way shortly.
Yeah.
A couple more time slips and I'll go.
It's interesting when you try tailgate up. You think it's got to be advantage one way or the other. Mate, there's a minuscule difference.
That's a better run for Ryan DeRue, 6.06. That's a way better run. Done at 6.86 with a 6.
Yeah, Ryan DeRue's just jumped in the #1 spot.
Well, it said 5.08. I think that might have been a furphy, that one. I don't know. Daryl Pete and Dean Mikey not done. The tutor's trying this lane for once, so let's see what ET gets in this lane. 8.11. He might have a matching 8.11 from the other lane.
Yeah.
Daryl Pete, 7.72.
Here we come.
Careless and Travis.
Yeah, Travis with everything on board. I mean, he's ready to go to the beach straight after this.
That's literally turnkey, let's go out somewhere set up, isn't it?
Yep.
Have you packed the car? Come on, are you kidding me? Probably does. 680 for Daniel Careless, 688 for Paul Travis.
Yeah.
That car is ready to go anytime.
Would have been good to see them side by side.
I wonder if he ever got pulled up with the cops going, there's a Weber barbecue on your tailgate. Yeah, officer, is there a problem? Jason Bowers and Rob, that's because what happens in Australia now.
Rob Wilson, where'd you find that? Pretty biggest piece of glass ever made in automobile production.
868. He'll probably, hopefully, be out at Mopar Sunday next couple of weeks out here. 663 for Bowers. another 6-pot Tirana belting out the numbers.
Yeah. So who have we got? Tim Oblong?
High-Blom, I think.
High-Blom.
Yep.
Yep. High-Blom, just depends how you put the inflection on the EI. And Luke Kessel. Well, that's not hard to get right. In patches.
It's. I'm having flashbacks, Kerry. I had the exact car.
That's what, it's the yellow one.
It's the beige. Yeah, the beige. Not the HK. I've never had a HK in my life.
Yeah.
But for a carton of beer, I got a beige Bluebird from the servo.
Yep.
And went home and put a 308 and a glide in it. But I didn't know much about V8s, but I knew about turbos, so I did turbo 308. And I put it in one of these things, yeah.
Why not? That'd have been a nice ride.
It ended up looking this way. At first, it looked like it's something out of a tractor pull. I had the air cleaner and the dump pipe out the bonnet and big fat tyres under the back. But then it turned into a car like this with a Aspo 308. But now this thing's got like a VQ in it. Yeah, it's a wild setup, Timmy's. Luke Kessel, though, 690 at 99 mile an hour.
He was on a mission.
A little bit of paint peeled off then just after the finish line. 696 for Tim in the Bluey. Just not full potential there, but still
A little bit to go. Emma Johnson.
Great deal.
Emma Johnson's down there this side, and Glenn Johnson in the Kiwi.
For Johnson and Johnson.
The Saturn Kiwi. The Saturn Kiwi.
Well, we've got that all through. The theme of the event seems to be a lot of that about family and friends. And Glenn Johnson goes 683, and Emma Johnson goes 867.
They virtually just swapped the 6s and the 8s.
Yeah, that's
Just depends which
just
car.
don't mix all your time slips up when you get home. Right?
James Tyler and
You're there for an hour sorting each other's time slips out. Yeah. Oh, here's all their time slips from the weekend. Sort of about 784 and 870. Be interesting to see if anyone can, if they've counted, if they know how many runs they've done, just to let Mick and Jane know, because I'm sure that's info I'd like to know. Actually, some of these guys must have done 60 runs. I'm not exaggerating.
Heaps.
I'm not exaggerating.
Last year changed before he got to the 8th.
657 for the little Corona, and 820 for Scoot. He didn't muck around on the start line, he was gone, but we did see the Corona just build a bit of boost. Yeah. Declan McConnell's bumping in again here, he can't get enough. The VH wagon ready to go.
Mark Stone in beside, got to be the brightest HR I think I've ever seen.
That same one. Decker's, what numbers he trying to hit here? He wants a 50, he gets 55 with an 8.
That's not bad.
Yeah, they are all running some good numbers first, and then they want to come back and pull a number on the 650 side of things.
Yeah, 756 in beside. So what do we got? Green Carpenter and Tyler Davies. If anybody can sort a car out to run, if he's interested, would be grand.
Yep.
Wheels up.
Cutting in and out, I think.
Yeah, this was smoke there. The other guy got there first in the end. No, he's there. 710 for Grant and an 841 in beside. I'll have to have a look at the mural on the top of this thing.
It is interesting, isn't it? That's Peter Fenton's RA60 Celica. I don't know what it's packing. It's 6-cylinder though.
Goes
Could
good.
be a 1J, 2J.
Amity Smith in beside. Amity's gone. Look at it fly.
There we go. 649. 649 at 103 mile an hour there for Peter.
That's impressive.
Of course, we've been collecting, we've been rattling the bucket this weekend for the Fenton Family Fighting Fund.
Yes.
Dealing with breast cancer again for the second time. So the bucket has been handed around. A fair bit's gone in. Even the gentleman last night in the raffle that won the air conditioning system.
He was prepared to put the whole deal in.
He said to put that back towards the Fentons.
Yep.
So that was, like, straight away he just said that, didn't he, when he won it?
No, didn't even bat an eyelid. We couldn't believe it.
All right, here we go. Look at this one. It's an all 3 RZ matchup.
So Jesse Ferguson and Scott Hoffman.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether there's been any chat before this run as to what's going to go on.
So what's this, the long and short of it?
Well, it's all Corollas, and so they're in Corolla heaven already because they're Corolla obsessed, but they're going to go to a bit of all 3 RZ bump city here.
Tell you what value motor car are these little Corollas? Been around forever. Oh, just as the tyres on
Too spicy for Hoff just on that run there. But Jesse, he got a nice one in. Nice launch, 609.
Yeah, that was impressive.
609. I think he doesn't want to leave it until he can get a 5 out of it. Hoff was on the spicy tune, trying to run that 5-0 territory. Now, look, we saw Tanya go 501. Here is the only other guy that I think, other than that little Corolla, that might give the 4-second area a tipple might be this one. Someone's going to get this 4-second trophy eventually.
Yeah, so it's Beth in there this time.
Beth Mansfield French and Paul Merry, the PSI Prem. We just saw Hoff a little too spicy on the 235s. Let's just see what Paul Merry's car does on the same lane.
Well,
131 in the 64, 511, 5111, 142 mile an hour. 131 in the 60, 337 to 330, and it's out and gone. Jeez, isn't it just poetry in motion?
oh, mate, that's the second fastest time of the day, or the time of the meeting, actually.
That's
It might be the fastest.
no,
I
well-
think that first one's not right.
well, Tanya's also is not up there, which was the 501. So that would be Paul Merry at 511, 501, 511, 512, and
there's a
Paulie
couple
I think a 517.
There's a couple more. Reece Baker.
That was a perfect launch. She got out of the hole perfectly there.
Yeah, there's a drag racing lesson for you. 692 at 103 and a 903 at 76.67 this side.
She walked that out perfect.
Yeah, that was a good drive.
I missed the 60 foot there for Danielle, but geez, that was just a great launch. Perfect
Yeah.
clutch launch.
GTO, the first of the pony cars. Leaving alone
Look at the comparison of the size of the body.
Yeah, they considered this the first pony car.
It did the job.
So you can imagine what a full-size car looked like.
Dave Webber, 691, 702, so close to each other. Here we go. These little rotary, angry little buzzies, the Buzz Boys.
Yep. And then that's Peter Savage and Ryan.
They're real fun machines, aren't they not? Look at him go, look at him go. 721, yes.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
721 and Savage wheels in the air, 881. Feakin goes along the ground with a nice clutch slip because it's IRS in the back, and then you've got that ute going up in the air.
Yeah, I'm doing it my way.
2 ways to attack the 660.
Okay, Cassidy Curley and Daniel Ridge.
All right, manual transmission for Daniel Ridge.
Soft lead.
Nice job, sir. Nice big tall first gear you can notice there too.
Yeah, went a long way.
855 at 77 mile an hour.
941 at 72.46 this side.
All right, I am just hoping this Tirana can get some traction. I'd love to see it just come up and dangle the Jerry Keane way. Michael Smith and the Black GDO.
Yeah, 171. 174, J74. Yeah. Oh, turn, viciously, still turn.
Oh, good carry. It walked it out and then carried it, 620. Got right into the torque zone there. You could tell it was starting to make torque as it drove out, just started coming up.
15 mile an hour, leaving it alone.
Yeah, 730 for the GDO. But,
So that was Michael Smith's best time so far.
I think so.
Yeah, 620. He
not-
comes up and tells me.
No mucking around, no wheel spin and carry on, but he's found the magic mark.
Shara Hoskin and Matthew Bulkey.
I've got to listen to Matthew Bulkey again here,
Oh,
I'm sure, on the
look at
last
this
run.
thing. How pretty is this? What a lovely little car.
Shara has got the hang of the manual in this little Gemini wagon.
I mean, where do you find one that pretty to start with? It probably wasn't that pretty to start with, but where do you find one? And then decide to do something with this.
She is the V8. Now that I hear it differently, I think we are a little healthy V8 in that thing.
Yeah, 818 and an 826. It was all in reaction times, if you consider it was a race.
Everyone driving back up the return road, all I'm seeing is smiles on the dials. It's like all these blokes are 17 years old again.
Yeah, why not? David McLeod and Tony Rogers. I'd be pretty excited.
Yeah, Tony Rogers on the brakes early, 762 at 80 mile an hour, 869 for McLeod. Rolling through the gearbox.
I'm thinking seriously. I'm thinking a little bit of my car and a young Duffy.
Oh, you want someone lighter than that. You need a little Puerto Rican jockey in there or something. Duffy's now like 120 kilos.
Yeah, but he
isn't
can drive.
He can drive. Yeah, that makes up for it.
He can drive.
Timmy Cross, you can put Timmy in it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Timmy's not much weight gain there. Loss either. Brett McElveen in the queue. Here goes Timmy. Turbo Barra Timmy.
Waiting. Where's that boost? There it is. Took a while. Well, we've got an 803 there already and a 657. It was worth the wait.
It just walks its way out there, doesn't it, Timmy? Grunts it out. 657 at 112 mile an hour. Just can't get enough of this.
No, this is fantastic.
Can't get enough of this. Michael Sears, that iridescent,
Isn't it beautiful?
iridescent metallic green. Where'd he go? Just
Well, he's
there?
got a green. So go, buddy. Don't wait for the other guy. That was a race. Mate, you never wait for the other guy.
Rick Barnes, 657 with a 1. He ran an earlier 657 with a 2 and a 642. So
Yeah, Michael Sears, I hope he gets a chance to come back and do it right.
right on the money, these guys. They just can't get enough. And they keep bumping in right now. That's Stephen Smith in the HQ, Jeff Kington, another turbo 6-bag, and nearly every run we've got one.
It's a good way to go. Just sits there. Oh, mate, he had to catch it. He was sitting there real casual and all of a sudden the thing moved. And a lot of steering wheel grabbed.
651 with an 8's probably
Worth
exactly
the
what
wait.
he wanted.
Yeah. No wonder he grabbed the steering wheel.
731 for Steve Smith. There they are. The Luxos are back. They wanted another go at it.
Well, we knew they'd try. That's Thomas Stevens and Murray Johnson.
Looks like the Ford family's getting to the beach first again.
The answer is they're hard to win.
Yeah, it's got some. 839 to an 875. So performance-wise, they're
Not a
actually
lot.
very, very close.
Not much.
Over the 8, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
4/10.
Yeah.
Very good.
We can't measure it. We've got to get some sort of machine to measure that for us.
got-
So what have we got? Ben Roberts.
We've got the perfect measuring device right
do.
here. 660 feet of measured distance.
There's the real Tony Ferguson.
Is it?
Yeah, the real Tony Ferguson.
The real Tony Ferguson. Left hand in the wheel. Let's have a left hand front in the air.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tony's in the Dangle Club.
Yep.
And geez, it's making some steam both sides.
Yeah.
652, 654.
That'd have been a race in the top.
God, how many time slips do these guys want?
Well,
646, 648, 649.
Yeah, mate, less than a mile an hour between them. It was just reaction time. They got one car there before the other. Rowan Ward in beside Terry Mansfield French. Mate, that is a mouthful.
Poetry in motion, Ford fans. Poetry in motion. 729 to a 721.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, my mum wanted to call us Cuna Digny because that was her maiden name.
Oh, really?
And, I don't
A
know
hyphenated surname.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know who talked her out of it, but geez, I was glad they did.
Yeah, that's a lot of writing in
Yeah,
school, isn't it?
yeah.
Jason Martin and Ross Benjamin.
And I've got to say, riding wasn't my strong point.
No.
Left hand with an M,
Yeah, he Ross Benjamin, Jason Martin's already there. 782 going through the manual gearbox. 691 for Ross
100
Benjamin.
mile an hour, that's nice.
So we're still mixing it up there. The lanes, yes, they are on it, starting to thin out. I can see a few little
Yeah.
gaps out the back there.
Yeah,
So
Danny
maybe
Martin.
we are cutting into it now.
And Matt Francis in the Greyback. Waiting a long time.
That's a good walkout for the VL, Danny Martin. He goes 695.
Anybody that runs a 660, that thing flew.
Yeah, where did that come from? Matt
It
Francis.
looked real nonchalant. You thought, oh yeah, he's going for a cruise.
Yeah,
there you
it's
go,
creeping up.
Kababoo.
All right, Michael McGregor and Adriano Rosso. You can hear the lungs in this car, the four-door. You can hear the lungs in it. It's a stout, cranky, aspirated engine.
The long roof. Now that's the second change for Michael McGregor. I don't know whether it didn't want to change, it's a 9:45. Some of us are killed for that, and a 6:39 for Rossen.
A little bit more here. John Oliver and Hugh Weir. Not finished with the ute yet.
Rolls out. What I would say.
Oh, hang on a sec.
That was a big change. And whatever garbage was in that muffler, we just lost it. We got rid of it.
Well, whatever it was, it hasn't
Slowed him down.
done
Went
anything
8:21.
else.
Yeah, 8:21. 6:62, your side.
Yeah, some big surprises. Sally Hamilton and Joe Lazaro, they aren't done yet. The commies.
Yeah, Sally this side in the ute.
That's better.
There she goes. He's working on the tree.
Well, it didn't spin the tyres either, so let's have a look. 8:03, that's better. A little bit more game to be had there. Lazaro, 8:48, they're chasing those dial your own numbers.
They sure are. They sure are. Looking for that consistent pass.
All right. Here's the man with the big beard and the big smile.
So that's Dave Hamilton and Mia Harris. Armstrong, I beg your pardon. That's a nice hatch, eh?
It is. Mia gets to get the keys to the hatchback once in a while and put some numbers down. Dave Hamilton, Barra powered. That's better.
We're not into reaction times, we're into numbers.
There we go. 6:48 with a 1 for Dave. 6:48 with a 1. And Mia Armstrong, 6:77 with a 9.
Yeah, I think they might have a smile.
How good's that?
Yeah.
You see Dave inside the big beard, the smile on the face. You can see him grab the steering wheel and steer that
He does.
that Commodore right down there. That's a fun machine. I'm glad that they built that and they're out there having some fun.
Dean
I wish I could go out there and have some fun.
Well, you can.
I know.
You've got a car.
Well, we've got too many cars.
Yeah, Dean Wilson and Daniel Hull.
All right, Dean. Another trying to find the 5-0 here. Great number, 6,
Gee,
a little bit
wow.
slower, 6:67 at 103, 10:07 for Daniel Dull in the big Stato.
I mean, a mid-6, mate, I think anybody would die for one of those.
Jerry's here for some more dangle, folks. Again, Jerry, let's check that front
Yeah.
wheel action out.
Jerry Keane and Russell Weaver.
Give it a go, Jerry. Give it hell. Yeah, thank you.
What amazes me is how straight the car tracks.
Yeah, 100 foot out, then he put it down. 6:56 at
I
104
reckon
mile
it's
an
got
hour.
15 degrees of caster in the on the right-hand side.
And
so
no
it's so straight.
swaber.
Yeah,
And no swaber.
Yeah, no
7:24.
Yeah.
Probably does. Things just set up the dangle. Honestly, fun machine. Just,
Yeah, and
they're all fun machines.
and having a ball. So what do we got? Michael Shannon, I beg your pardon, and Matthew Maloney. And it was very nice. Thank you very much. 6:41, 113 mile an hour, and a 6:45 at 112. So there's not much between those two, other than when the drivers chose to leave. That was big.
There we go. Here we go.
Paul Trevis.
Some cranky VH wagon action here. Bit of
And Declan McDonald.
VH wagon bump city.
Oh, yeah, you certainly are. Up, you come to light. Waiting for the boost. There we go. We're all talked up now.
It's Declan. He doesn't muck around.
No,
6:54. He's gone. He's out with an 083 actually on the Pro Tree. 6:96 at 92 mile an hour.
Yep. Yeah, Declan's a racer.
Fun doesn't stop. The fun does not stop. All right, so Tim's having a go in this lane, and Sengi's saying, come over a little bit this way. We're looking for the number.
Yeah, Kev Morton and
Reece Baker.
Reece Baker.
Still plenty more left in these guys. Obviously, their fuel tunes haven't run out yet. Look, the lanes are thinner. The lanes are thinner.
Yeah, they're thinning up now,
And
but they're still driving in.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we get the odd little request for final thoughts, final drinks or whatever.
Oh, we're still waiting. See that thing that little one from Armour does get out boogie. Goes 6:49 at 107.65, a 9:05 at 76.21 for Mr. Baker.
Oh, here we go. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah, here we go.
It's we're getting
Sleeper City.
we're getting on to the bottom half of the event, the end half of wrapping up our
Two guys that are trying to make the cars not look like race cars. Paul Fuller and Matty Loy. I think Matty's pulled it off. Everybody you see that car on the street with mufflers and all the stickers say, yeah, poser, idiot. And then they see the number on the windscreen, and that sort of sobers everybody up.
All right, we get to go to a little bit more of that fantastic city that's been invented called Bump City, baby.
Bang, they're bumped. Oh, they both went red, but I think Matty went red first.
They're put of a Phantom Hammer on one run against in Bump City. I caught a Phantom Amber in Bump City. He's having a skid here. Scooter's having a skid.
You reckon?
Yeah, on your Scooter. That did not go unnoticed, actually, at all.
No, I think everybody saw that one. Paul
Someone was
Gillard,
on it.
Paul Gillard right beside.
All right, so Paul can't get enough of these. It would be a little bit funny if he was related to the former PM. It would be funny. He won't be an LS in the V8. There won't be an LS in the Commodore that I lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the government car is these days. I think they're Commodores or Statos. I'm not sure. They're getting a bit out of. Well, we don't make that sort of stuff anymore, so they're probably gone back to the American
It'll
stuff.
be whatever their polls show them it should be.
I think they're Mercedes Benzes.
Oh, are they really?
I think, if memory serves me right, it was the big Mercedes I saw the Prime Minister get into.
Albo? That's not like Albo to be in a Mercedes. All right, well, they're not done yet, Rowan Allen or Luke Cope. Oh, Lukey.
Gee, there wasn't much in that.
49 with a 9, nearly perfect 5-0, but not.
Yeah, wow.
All right, clutch pedals both sides here.
Yeah, Daniel Ridge and Ryan Feakin. And we can see everything Ryan does. And he does work with the car, doesn't he? You can see every gear change, how he sits in the car, how much he moves around.
How much smoke comes out of it every run.
Yeah, and man, he goes 748 at 90.07 mile an hour, and he would have a big smile on his face. 870 in beside with a 79.92, 7.92.
Well, she's not done either, Shara. She wants a bit more of this clutch pedal action in the Gemini.
Yeah, Shara Hotkins and...
That's a good run for her too. She's getting it deep into the 8-second zone. 8.26, getting better every run.
Shazza goes good.
8.26 for Matthew, 8.54 there for Shara. Still a good run.
She'd be happy with that.
The Johnson and Johnson family.
Yeah.
Glenn and Emma.
Yeah, Glenn this side.
Is that what you reckon?
Yeah.
Just, horsepower, maybe.
Yeah. I'm thinking that the 690, 702, that's where the money's gone into Glenn's car. 870's no slouch in 77. We'll get to yours, Emma.
I'd love to know the sale value of both those cars at the moment as well, though,
Yeah.
because
Who knows? It's just...
any of these cars, actually, you can put values on them everywhere. Grant Carpenter, Jason Bowers.
This thing of Carpenter, so man, it's the true Ebonham. Is it Ebonham Hot Rod? Okay, we can do that.
Cafe closing in half an hour. Cafe closing in half an hour. 30 minutes left to get your coffees. And that's a good enough time, you know.
Yeah, Emily Smith and Rick
Barnes.
Yeah, that's the nice. I don't know what he needed to wait. 648 at 110.43. 10.27 over this side at 64.08.
Here's another clutch pedal. Exciting run here. Scotty Clibborn, 13B in the Corolla. My son should have come up to see all this. He wants to put his 13B in an Escort with a manual. They should come out and hang out with the 13B manual boys.
Oh, it's out and gone. The old Gig does everything pretty good. 681 at 99.09.
How's the 678 beside at 106 mile an hour?
Very impressive.
I just love it when he grabbed second gear. It actually jumped and pulled the front wheels off the ground on the shift.
Yeah, and that's when we love watching. So Peter Fenton coming out against Andrew Rankin. So somebody really trying to put some heat in the tyres.
Yeah, he's got the he's got another big skid for the Celica. Oh, he can't get enough.
Well, he's bringing it all with him.
Nothing's better for the system than a good skid.
No,
I
you're
think.
right.
All right, Rankin trying to get another good run with the 3RZ powered Mark II Corona. 6 bangers both sides. 4 cylinder, sorry.
What a lead. Well, all that didn't do any good. Just turn those tyres to suit.
See too many brown Toyotas and forget how many cylinders they got.
Yeah, look at that. 664 and an 816.
Fun everywhere.
Of course.
All right, this is Jacob Haker back here.
And Terry Mansfield French in the wagon.
Just classic curves, classic curves.
ZD front on the XY.
Tell you what, Jacob's got a good one in the bag here. He had some wheel spin issues over the weekend. That's a good one. 687 at 108.
Yep.
718 at 95 for Terry Mansfield French. And they're still going to keep lapping around. I still see them hot lapping. I see Shara back down the lanes. There's still people hot lapping. They're trying to get as many as they can. Here's the man again, Scott. Hoffman up against Rowan Lind. Hoff, I don't know whether the spice is taken back out of it. Let's just see. Let's just see where Hoff's at here. Strap yourself in, folks.
Little car with what? Oh, I don't see any spice out of it. Just got the front wheel down there.
Oh, 513 for Hoff.
On the brakes, does it do that every
No,
time?
every time it just on the back off. 126 in the 60 foot, 334 to 330, 513, 136 mile an hour. It's literally his earlier 512 is as best he's been today. Remember, Paul Murray went 511. So this is how close these cars are with wildly different combinations. And then I think Tanya with the 501 I remember seeing run before.
We get to 15 before. Actually, 16 is a 6-second pass. Every car before that is in the 5s.
That's just one of those cars that every time you see it do that, it's like, wow, what a superstar.
Yep.
Jerry's a superstar too. Come on,
can.
Jerry, give us a bit of dangle in this lane.
Yeah, and Tony Rogers. Oh, he dangled. Oh, how did he steer that?
He's done a little bit of aircraft there where it's almost put a bit of smoke when he dropped the tyre down that time.
Yeah, it looks like he needs a rudder.
Yeah, 652 at 104 mile an hour. You can never get enough of that. We've got the best seat in the house for that angle.
Do.
We have the
748 in beside.
There's not many tracks that give you this angle for the dangle.
Mate, I thought he's over the centre line for sure, but he managed to pull it back. I don't know how he did that, but he did. Michael Shears and Ben Rogers. Gee, there's not much between these at the moment. Rogers may be in front. He was 657, 106, and a 654 at 106. Get out of here.
I know, I just look at it and it's like, again, two immaculate, SLE Commodore, VHSLEs running 654 and 653 beside each other.
Yeah, how do you get that? We got,
and then hot rods against like little rotary utes and stuff. Like.
So Peter Savage in the little ute.
He got it down pat, the little ute, Peter Savage. 788. He's got it sorted. It just needed a little bit more on the launches to pull it out of its little bog. And now he's driving out through there pretty good.
749 the other side for the hot rod.
All right, the lanes are emptying out.
Rowan
Lanes
Ward.
are emptying out.
Rowan Ward and Joe Lazaro. That's Joe out there in the black. Wow, look at that. 711 at 101 and an 847 at 80.27. Somebody might have got out of that car, I think.
All right, Dave and Declan going in for a bit of bump.
Well, Declan's getting his money's worth. Well, his dad getting his money's worth. Declan's having fun.
Just can't hit that Pro Tree hard enough, can you? Just having a lot of fun. 658. Oh, 6506 for Dave.
Yep.
If he was hunting for an ET slip, that's an ET slip to almost say. I might put it away after that.
Yeah, I know. I'll try again.
I think the more 50, 650, 651 ETs we see, the cars just might disappear.
Yeah, Ryan DeRue and Matty Loy.
He has been hunting.
Yeah, he's got that 642 on the window.
They're all hunting the 50 something. I think that's what it is. Ryan DeRue and Matty Loy. So Junga Bunga had that nice little match up there before with Tanya.
Yeah.
But he still wants that number 2. They're all looking for it.
They're looking for something. And for us, we can't remember whether they found it or not. We do at the time because we've got it in front of us.
All right, Ryan DeRue trying to get this Barra Ute down the track again with a representative time. 102 on the 3. He's been right in that sweet spot. He goes 6:46 with the 3 and a 6:03 for Ryan. He's still going in the right direction there. 6:06 before.
Yeah, Ryan took the win.
6:46 for Junga, looking for
And
the
that's the
5:0
quickest he's
something.
been. That's the quickest Matty's been.
It's about the only thing that I can explain why these guys keep returning, repeating, return, repeat, return, repeat. It's day 3. They've been doing it for 2 days.
And they're
This
not
is the
worn
3rd
out.
day.
No, we're not worn out.
They're not worn out.
Paul Gillard and Matthew Maloney in that
Oh, he's got some, that Camaro. He had to get off it there.
beautiful. Yeah, had a little pedal.
54 to a 59.
Sort of got his attention there for a second or two. And it's almost that, get to the end of the track and says, my pants still all right?
Mike, if it doesn't just give you a little scare once in a while, it's not an excitement machine. Yeah. Michael Shannon, this wagon's a bit of an excitement machine. Oh, big tramp for David McLeod.
Have a look at the wagon go. The long roof has taken off. 7:08 at 108. 8:69 at 81.51 this side.
That was quick as 6:37 there, Michael Shannon with that car.
Yeah, he's been 6:37.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice skid, young sir.
Yeah, that's a beautiful EK. I've got a soft spot for EKs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that is a good example of an EKU.
May they never disappear from our minds and from our roads. And then we get these kids that want to put 2Js in them.
Yeah, that sort of hurts, but you know, I
think it makes them want them even more. It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's an eclectic mix of that classic Aussie shape with the modern,
as much modern
the
technology
modern,
as you can get.
the modern twist.
And that's what we used to probably strive for.
Yeah, and it's it's the perfect evolution, and it's just unique to us here in Australia, pretty much. Luke Cope and Sally looking for a lower ET into the 8s. Oh, Luke wants that 50. Went 49 something last run. 53. God, he's circling. Sally goes 8:01.
Yeah, it was good pass.
8:01.
I was watching that car. They did everything right. Luke Cope with his 6:48 on the 9.
Yeah, Scooter's just getting more skids than ever.
I just get as much as you can get in. Treen Orenge. Gee, that's a nice looking car, isn't it?
It is. It's
Black Huey, wow.
Yeah, the WB front on it as well, which was, that was the thing. If you wanted to,
be different.
finish off, classic street machine build, you would get that modern WB front on them. 814 and a 978 there for Treen with problems.
Yep.
All right, the X5's back. The X5 is back, and look, we're getting our little roadster in this lane for the first time. We get even a better view of him.
Yeah, right. Ryan Feakin.
There he is. G'day, Ryan. I can see a lot of you there, Ryan. Got the handbrake up.
Amity Smith, yep, he did too. Oh, he does.
Oh, and he did a pop.
Yeah.
That's a good run from Ryan.
That's breathing heavy, but he says, I'm still going. 7:23.
Fun, man. That looks fun. Brings it in on the handbrake, and then as soon as he slips the clutch, off goes the handbrake just slowly, straight to the gear lever. Bang, bang.
10:61. John, how are you, buddy?
Tons of fun.
So,
Tons of fun. Shara Hoskin and Tanya. So Tanya's back. All right,
so
look,
the ladies are in for a run now. Shara and Tanya.
I don't know. It's if it's going to happen, it could happen. Honestly, we're still maybe a little bit early in the day. Maybe it is just the winter sun, whether we're getting too much heat in the track yet. Maybe this could be the perfect opportunity.
I'm thinking this is about as good as it's going to get. Little Gemini wagon.
Yeah, look at that. Little burnout. I think he wants her to skid and roll forward with it. Let's just see.
He's having a look.
Just to say, maybe that is enough skid. Maybe this is a little...
Well, if those two together, how many passes did she say last night?
700.
They've done 700 in this car. So, mate, they don't know what they want to do, and I'm pretty sure he does. He's just having a bit of a feel. He's got the most sensitive feet in Australia.
Now, Shara's in there with one bulb on and probably a very trembling left foot.
Yep. And, mate, she can roll it in anytime she likes, force the issue. Being very sportsmanlike. Very sportsmanlike. More
right.
patience than me, I could say.
Now, look, Tanya's a little bit more towards the left-hand side of the lane here now. She's sort of coming in on the left-hand side.
Probably left that direction a little bit late.
All right, so she's just getting herself ready. Tomo's looking for the square up. Looking for the square up. And this has become quite an interesting part of the preparation for the vehicle, is just that location to put this car.
Where we putting it?
To see if we can handle the horsepower that it's got. All right, Tanya Thompson, she's already gone 5:01. Looking to run the first 4-second road trip ET.
And Shara Oskin in beside. Shara's out and gone. Don't wait any longer, Shad.
Oh, we're on a mission! Oh, a little pedal there from Tanya. It goes 5:11 with the pedal. 5 Tomos just come. Whoa.
141 mile an hour. Are you happy, mate?
128 in the 60, 128 in the 60, 336.
And he's trying to stay cool.
But it was power wheel standing. It was coming out. It was
beautiful.
dangling the wheel. It sort of brought them back up on the second. Almost on the shift they came up again. That's when she had that little instinct to lift a little bit.
Lift a bit, and a great drive. A great drive.
She's so in tune with that car. Jacob's got a taste for it now. 768 at 106.
Yep. 826 over this side at 84.04.
That's an identical ET to what PSI Prem ran, like literally the identical ETs, but with the pedal. Matt Francis, Ross Benjamin, not done.
No.
He's creeping down on this thing. 640s, it's the perfect weapon. 640, 650. Oh, Ross Benjamin goes 155 in the 60 from the HR, came out like a rocket and goes, yeah, rewards of that, 689.
Right on the 100 mile an hour and a 766 at 102. But gee, that was a nice pass. Over your side. So we've got Kevin Morton up against Terry Mansfield French.
Yeah, Terry's that 557 Cuba, it's got a healthy appetite for fuel, but guess what? Terry's got enough for it still for now. Kev Morton getting to steer the Jason Seng LJ
nice
this weekend.
Not a bad way to get a drive.
He's the engine builder.
Oh, he's getting back in work. His big flies.
And just trying to play the game. 651 with a 7.
Yep.
747 with a 1 for Terry Mansfield French. So
I think you put the 651 in, wouldn't you?
I think they're just hunting. They're still all hunting. That'd be the only explanation for a few of them.
Yeah.
There's a few that are on a streak where it's like, well, now I've already found all my issues out. I'm going to try and chase a few ETs here. And others are just hunting around for the ET. Hang on, we've got issues for Josh Cronin. We've got a little bit of leakage, have we? Pushing him back.
Not sure what that was about, but they're pushing the 32 back. So Grant Carpenter coming forward.
Issues there where it's we've given up on it. Grant Carpenter gets to go himself here. He must be chasing something here.
Grant just loves driving, I think.
He's just a foot brake racer too. You notice that? It's that car's got no, I would assume, no trans brake in it. The way that he's just sort of just watching his body language.
Yeah, 707, 95.51.
That's all left foot in there. Like you could just say he's riding it in on the left on the brake pedal.
Yep.
And then he's, foot brake racing.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that. I hope Joshua hasn't got a big problem when they do get their car back sometime.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Peter Savage and Daniel Ridge. Have a look at this little Dado.
Oh, another sunroof. So that's three sunroofs.
Yeah, that's 3 sunroofs. That one doesn't look like it opens, but it might.
He just did. He actually just pinged him to close it.
Oh, okay. Flush. Oh, what happened to Dado? Went for a year and it said no, stick it.
That one didn't go to plan. However, Daniel Ridge goes 844 at 85.
You'd have to think that went to plan. 1208 at 52. We know that's way below that car's potential.
Pete needs to be a little more savage with the RPM on the next run.
Yeah, it needs to be. You got to get angry sometimes.
The Armstrong family is back.
And
So is the Van der Tonks.
Yeah, Naomi's back out there.
Got Christian out the front there, of course. Christian from Christian Gulby. They are another one of our drag racing, I shouldn't say power couple, because Christian's likes to keep a low profile. He's mad keen about the scene and the industry, and he's had his fair share of quick equipment. But these days Gnomes has got, well, he's got the wagon, which I think came out around a PB a couple of weekends ago, and they've got enough on. They're living a very busy life with their machinery. Can use it in a variety of different ways. Rob Armstrong beside, he gets to see if he can't Oh, nice one. Another 549 with a 9. You've got two identical 549s with a 9. Identical to the third decimal. Imone goes 549 with a 9 twice. We're not lying. This stuff's coming up on our CompuLink.
Yeah, maybe we change the number plate to I win. Peter Fenton in beside Dave McLeod.
Yeah, Fenton didn't go for the big skid this time.
Wait for the boost. Well, not much.
It's like it wants a little bit more on the hit there, like coming out of the hole, but I mean, it's still got enough. 641 at 104. 874 there for David McLeod, still trying to master the clutch. All right, Jerry's going to spread the love to the far lane now.
In beside Rick Barnes in the Tirana hatch. Gee, wouldn't you wish you'd have bought half a dozen of those?
There, oh beautiful, that was about 50, 60 feet in the air.
Never going to leave a left-hand front tire. 659, all done already, and a 645 this side.
I think you need to come back to this lane, Jerry, because at least the wall's not right near on that side.
Yeah,
you know?
you got a bit of room to pull it all back.
Yeah, Rick Barnes just can't seem to stop bringing it around in the lanes. Ben Roberts and Tony Rogers.
Well, Ben Roberts is a famous name.
I always think about when you do lap after lap with LSAs and stuff like that, you do get a lot of that heat built into the blower, and I don't think having it out in the sun doesn't help it either. You know what I mean? The blower runs a bit hot, I think. That's why I suppose they use the intercoolers and water cooling.
Wait, 648, is that happy? You have to be happy with the 648, wouldn't you?
48, a 54, they run two 54s and a 52. God, they are still hunting.
They're looking for something.
They're looking for the 50 something. They're looking for a 650 something. Andrew Rankin and Matthew Maloney. The amount of ETs that you see hovering around this is just showing us how close they're trying to get. At least he's got the Camaro hooked up, 640. In fact, hooked up a little bit too much, 659.
Maybe happy with that, Andrew Rankin.
Well, that's two 659s that he's run.
Well, that sort of says, well, I'm consistent.
Declan's telling me he's still hunting, as is Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan.
Yeah, copy.
Okay, guys and girls, if you want to get some qualifying passes in, you got 10 minutes.
Declan, 650 with an 8. So what's that? Yeah, the lanes, 20 minutes.
Well, you got 20 minutes.
10 past 1, we're absolutely hard shutting them off.
All over. We're going to race from then.
So if you want some more, you better get in there now, because we're giving you 20 minutes before we do a hard shut on the lanes.
Yeah, Matthew Bulkey and Ferguson has got that thing marching pretty nicely, I've got to say. A 667 at 97, yeah, gee, you couldn't complain about that. 832 at 83.64.
All right, Tony Ferguson had some fun. Now it's time to get back into the Bullet Roadster. Ryan Feek and Deed Heike. All right, Ryan, go for it. Oh, Boggy Bog.
Yep, just too early. And I tell you what, that's big thing he is through, and that thing's getting smoky. It's nearly saying about enough.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
740 at 96, yeah.
I'm looking for a fun machine, that's it.
Yeah, an 806. Do you reckon you could get yourself changing gears like that?
Oh, I'd dedicate the rest of my life to it.
Yeah.
Just trying to.
Used to bang them through when I was younger.
It's a lot, so much fun when you see the other guys doing it and doing it well. Joe Lazaro, Matt Francis still hunting, looking for an ET. Well, I know Matt Francis either looking for PBs or looking for ETs. Lazaro, he's been hovering in that 8-second zone, 864, 658. He is going looking for it, Matt Francis. Yep. Geez, that bunch should be tight by the end of it.
I think so. Yeah.
Here you go. Here's the kid, Zach Curley.
And
Rowan.
Bottom two.
Good run there, 134 on the 6 foot, 5:43, 130 mile an hour. Goes with the earlier 5:39, 134 in the 60, 3:57 to 3:30.
I sort of look at the turbo cars and thought, well, what if you put a splash of nitrous in there just to get them off the start line?
I think they do. Some of them do have a little light up.
Yeah, Sally Hamilton just took off there, and
Yeah, I think he had to pedal HR then. In fact, HR might be giving a little bit of grief now that he's revving the guts out of it. Oh, Sally goes sevens. 7:75 for Sally. 7:12 for Ross Benjamin. Not as quick as before, but Sally's improving.
Yep.
Everyone's hitting their high spots.
Yep. So what do we got? Michael Shannon and Shara Hoskin.
Little long roof battle here, even though there's a little long roof out there.
Yeah, well, it's a long roof. Nice little long roof too. What did they look like when they did find them?
I'm sure Shara's having a ball there. She goes
6:67, 8:30, 8:33.
Yeah, he's gone as quick as 6:37, Michael Shannon. 8:33 for Shara. They will just not stop until we tell them. So about 1:10 we said is the hard close.
Yeah, we've got about 8 or 9 minutes to
Repeat. 1:10 is the lane closure. 1:10 is a hard closure. 1:10 is a hard closure.
Then we're going to get serious. Ryan Daru.
And then time slips. I think they say 15 minutes after that. You would assume.
Yeah, Jacob Haker.
No dilly dallying.
No, we've only got so much time left in the day. We want to give you as much fun as we possibly can.
There we go. So Dave tells me Sally's actually been PB in that car 7:73. She's got 7:75, which is quicker than Dave's ever gone in it. So there we go.
Yeah, well, that should tell you something.
She's outdone Dave.
That should tell you something. 6:95 your side and a 6:28 at 118 mile an hour. This side in the Superflow lane.
All right.
Superflow.
Watch the Corolla's front end on the gear change. Oh, not this time. No, this was not all happy on the launch that time for Scott, and he goes 6:92. McLeod 8:73.
They're not showing his previous runs all the time. We get them
No, sometimes they do.
Yeah, sometimes we get it, and sometimes we don't. We're not getting them on those cars.
All right, Savage trying to come back here. Jerry keen to do more wheel stands.
Always. The way the car's set up, you think it's got to do wheel stand. Just
Did I think unload him a little bit that time. So the dangle was cut short by a lack of forward momentum due to wheel spin. 6:79 at 104 mile an hour, 8:09 at 84. And the Armstrongs are back in the hatchback. Rob, ready to go.
Jason Martin sitting there waiting very patiently.
Yeah, everyone's left leg will be twitching if you're in those manual classes, and that Jason Martin's no different.
Would you be confident enough to take your foot off, throw it into neutral while you're sitting there?
Probably, I wouldn't have any bulbs on. I'd do that without any bulbs on. I wouldn't do it with bulbs on.
Yeah, not with bulbs on.
Yeah.
Just outside, I think. That'd be me.
Yeah. Well, that liked it very much. So the hatchback, let's have a look at the ET. 592 to go with the 596, the 586, the 583. Jason Martin, a 741. And excellently executed.
Yeah, it was beautiful pass. So what have we got? Denny Martin and
Declan.
Declan's back.
Declan wants something sharper than the 508.
Jeez, he's brutal on this car.
That didn't pay off that time. So that will be a not quite even collect one. That one 685. But he had a 508, but I think you wouldn't want to hand a 50 with an 8 in case you could get a 50 with a 3 or whatever.
Yep.
That's how tight it is.
Yeah, well, mate. No one's leaving.
Well, certainly not Rowan and Rick. Can't get enough. 643 to go with the 642, to go with the 645, to go with the 648.
So, you can get much better than that.
That's just today's ET.
Yeah, and 852 the other side.
Let's count up the other 20 to 30 ETs that he got out of that thing in the last 2 days.
Yeah, Ben Roberts. That name just throws
And
me.
he's got a, what do you think of Ben Roberts?
Yeah,
Smith.
yeah, that's who I'm thinking of, yeah. Matthew Bulkey.
648, 652, 654 for the SLE.
I guess I'm thinking about the side.
Yes. Hits the stripe and gives himself a 55 to go with the 48, the 52, the 54.
Yep, and I guess what pisses me off about that much is what they did to him.
Well, that's it. It's you know, hero in one way, villain in the other. Just goes to show you can
He's a
be
hero.
either.
He's a hero.
All right, Ryan Feakin. He's a hero in my eyes too, Ryan Feakin. Look at the big fella. Smile on the dial.
He's a big
Handbrake
fella.
engaged.
He is a big fella, isn't he?
Big bog.
We got him in right. Second gear, and makes it and third. Gee, that was close and tight.
She gets boogieing in third gear,
Yeah,
that
it
thing.
does. Gets a little smoky, but it goes 808, 95. Gee, you got to be happy with that.
I remember the days when all the rotors were aspirated, and they'd say those rotors, you get to the second to third gear in those things, they are pulling the V8s in, you know. If they weren't in front of them by then, they just got to a point they couldn't be done.
Okay, Cronin's got that car running. Whether they're happy with the 768, I'm not sure. Nice, you'd have to bring it.
Pete Fedder might be close to being out of petrol. Some of these people have got to be nearly close to running out of petrol, right?
11:32. Well, gee, there was a few on the road this morning.
Could be a bit of slosh in the more slosh in the tank.
When I was coming in, mate, there was more coming out than
Yeah, I did
going
see
in.
that. I did see them all going for. Obviously, they're going for some E85 somewhere. So a big spike in E85 sales this weekend.
Yeah.
Kev Morton and Matty Loy. They both still trying to hit a mark here. Look at this. Junga's been 53, 47, 46. Kevy's been 49, 48, 47.
Yeah, mate.
He can't get himself a 5.0. Junga's got one, but he wants something a little harder, like a 5.01. So that's what they're aiming for here, these guys. Now remember, they split the purse last night. They got to the final.
Yep.
Junga took out Kevy once. Kevy didn't play the card. They split the money.
And Junga didn't get that one right.
No, didn't get it right. Just to show that he is
Look,
human.
yeah,
49 with a 2. Put it with the 49 with the 8, why don't you?
Yeah, there you go. And 697 for Junga, and he won't be happy with that. He won't be happy with that at all, and he'll be angry with himself because you go through the routine, and every time you deviate, that's one run you never get right.
Got big wheel spin there for Sally. She's going for the PB, swinging for the fences, and a little too much foot brake on the launch, I reckon, because I reckon that's the one way to really get them close to
935.
for the aggro tune-up in it.
Yeah, and 704.
Oh, here we go. Savage, they just can't get enough. The lanes, as we said, a hard close in 9 minutes. The
Yep.
lanes close in 9 minutes.
Take a Hager and Savage. I mean, he does get some value out of that little car, doesn't he?
I think there's a lot of fun in those manually shifted cars.
816.
816 and 701 for Jacob, the HQ coupe.
Like I said, back in the day, I got changed 4-speeds. I don't know how it go these days.
It'd
I
be-
don't think I've got the
That'd be
coordination.
better than a game of Sudoku, I reckon.
It'd be worth paying for a few gearboxes to see if you still had it.
I'll put you through super stock school. Imagine you could do a drag racing school, but it's a super stock drag racing school. To come out there and row through a racing transmission, that'd be the way.
Yep, and we've got one on the bench there. You just sit there and pretend you go and see it until you get it
Yeah.
right. Jason Martin and Randy Carpenter. Grant's out and gone. He's having a ball today. 706 at 98. The 763 at 98. So Grant's off it early. And there's always method in his. That guy's always got something in mind. Always. So what have we got? Danny Martin inside Matt Francis. Gee, that car gets final win or lose.
Yeah, he's really whittling away at this performance of this car. 664 though, trying to probably chase the 5.0 number. Saw him out of Coralbin when he just finished it.
All right.
Copy.
Okay, just a little lesson in etiquette. Walking pace is the speed for your car in the pits. And the lanes will shut at 10 past 1, so 10 past 1, you get that one right straight away. The second one, first one, which I'm going to repeat, it is walking speed. Once you're in the pit area, oh mate, in the red ute, slow it down.
Yeah, you got him already, Kerry.
Just slow it down. That's where you go fast out there. Round here we've got kids and all sorts of things, and we do not want a tragedy. So just settle down, fellas. Just settle down.
There is a speed limit here, and it is only able to be exceeded once you're out on the track. So no hot lapping, no more hot lap. Look, just be thankful you got all the runs that you did. We do not want you speeding through the pits or anything.
No,
So-
even on the return road, once you come into the area where there's cars and people, back to walking speed, guys, please. Otherwise, I'll give you a piece of my opinion and you won't like it.
Ryan Feakin's ready here. Scotty Clibborn, come on in, son. Come on in. Let's get some 13B gear jamming action going.
Yeah, we're getting a great view of the
No, is he waiting? He might have someone in mind. Single?
on his own.
Okay. Off you go, big fella. Get yourself ready.
He uses the handbrake, which is amazing. I haven't seen that done for years. I mean, once you've got the gear, it doesn't matter. It's not happening.
I definitely will be having some sort of staging brake in my new thing, Kerry. It will
We used to have a lever here off the
Yeah,
pedal.
yeah. Well, that was the old way. I'm thinking about doing that, but I do think I'm going to a little hydraulic handbrake lever. Just that way, it's not going to clunk you in the head every other time because I've got to steer the thing. So.
Well, the thing was with that thing, it was heavy, and it was always we had to put another spring on the pedal to keep bringing it back up.
That's
again.
right, because you were.
We had that mass on it. Yeah,
But that's the old-fashioned drag racing
what we had.
staging brake. That's what it was. If you're a manual gearbox and you wanted to bring it in, you had some way of stopping the car.
Merch will be shut at 1:30, everybody.
25 minutes, last chance for the merch. Last chance for the merch. We close at 1:30 there. Last chance for the merch. Hard close of the staging lanes in 5 minutes.
So Mick Barnes and Peter Fenton out there. What would you call those? 2 hatches?
Yes, six banger hatches.
Maybe the foot is lit.
Yeah, it's just not happy now.
No.
649 with a 3 for Rick Barnes. Put it in the big pile of 640s that he's got.
1082, the car is definitely not happy.
Pete needs a 50-something, and he went 49.0 before, so they're all chasing that number. 5 minutes, and the lanes will be closed. 5 minutes, and the lanes will be closed.
So Sally Hamilton coming up this side, and it is Joe Lazaro already there.
It could very well be. We're just checking down the end.
Yeah, there's a little bit of smoke down there.
No, we're okay. We're okay. Now, Sally, here she goes. This might be, with the lanes closing in 5 minutes, the last chance today to give this car a new PB. She's gone 775. The PB in the car, I think, is a 772.
Here we go. Nice lead.
773.
Nice lead.
773. So let's just see what she does. She's going to hit the stripe right now. Sally Hamilton goes 794.
795
Not
and
today.
an 851.
Not today. The 773 will have to wait.
Yeah, we're a couple of tenths off.
All right. 5 minutes left in the lanes. In fact, it's 4 minutes left.
Peter Savage and Jason Martin. Peter Savage in this little data here. Oh, I just love it.
Oh, he's missed again.
Yeah,
they both missed again.
Both missed again.
God, I love stick shift.
Oh, mate, that second or third gets you every time.
God, I love that. I love it when there's a fluff and then there's a double fluff.
I
I
must
love
admit-
once in a while, that adds that excitement. That spontaneity that is stick shift.
The first time I drove a manual with a Hurst shifter on it, straight line shifter, and you could actually row that second to third because the shifter just went forward and back.
Yeah.
And man, it's like heaven.
Yeah.
It's like, man, how good is this shift?
And people try and do that with H pads and end up with
and
a
you end
whole
up
lot
with
of nothing.
Yeah, you end up with a broken gearbox.
Broken third gear.
Yeah, it's amazing feeling.
Those vertical gate shifters. Again,
brilliant.
another invention only for drag racing.
Yes.
Ben Roberts last shot at it. Andrew Rankin last shot at it. We have 3 minutes left before the lanes are hard closed. 3 minutes left before the lanes are hard closed. 650 with a 1. Ben Roberts, go and whack that in the bank.
And 659. They're not messing around.
650 with a 1. He's going to go and put that one in, I dare say. Kev Morton, last chance for him. Jerry King, last chance for him. And normally if Sengi's driving this with the spray on it, it'd be a big wheelie. Jerry's going to give us the wheelie here. Timmy with no spray on it, not going for the big wheelies, but going for that point-to-point ET. They want a 5.0 something right now.
Gee, I hope he's got that car straight. Doesn't look straight to me, but anyway.
Which one, Jerry?
The black one, yeah.
No, the black one. Okay, here we go.
Doesn't look straight. But no, he came out better.
There we go. That was out about 100 foot again there, Jerry King. Here we looking for the 5.0 something. Oh, 5.0 with a 1.
Whoa.
What happens? What happens when you hand in a 5.0 with a 1 with 3 minutes to go in the day to go 5.0 with a 1? Now, Declan wants a 5.0 something in his category. So that's what they're trying to hunt here. Mia Armstrong. Declan hunting the 5.0 something. 41 with an 8.
Too quick.
41 with an 8. 7.14 for Mia. They finish their account off. But how's that? 5.0 with a 1 with like 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, that sort of sends a message.
All right, 1 minute to go. 1 minute before the lanes are hard closed. No more cars, please.
Matthew Bulkey and Danny Martin.
Oh, Danny's going to throw this one away. Yeah, Matthew Balky, though, like he's still making that thing work.
Yeah, he got there. Goes 8.26 at 84, the 10.82 at 63. We know that car can go much quicker than that.
All right, so the lanes are nearly closed. Shara, Hoskin and Ryan Fegan.
We can see everything that happens. It's great to see changes in that car. That first and second's always pretty easy, but that second and third, that's the shift.
Yeah, they're loving it.
Yep,
They're loving it.
Very well. Goes 7.44 at 91, 8.62 this side at 86. I must admit, I mean, when we raced at Toronto with a manual gearbox, and we originally started with an oval, so you can imagine what we were doing to that. You just couldn't power shift those things. We put an Australian new process in it and changed the car completely. All right,
a side-by-side Barra match-up with not too many minutes left to go. The staging lanes are now, it's 10 past 1. 10 past 1.
Ryan Daru.
10 past 1.
And Zach Corley.
All right, let's just see if Zach can get another one in the 530s.
Just a pretty car, isn't it? That's red. Oh, it works too. He's got it out there nicely.
There we go, 5.42 with an 8. 5.42 with an 8, so Zach Curley finishes off the weekend with a 5.42 with an 8 and a 6.25 for Ryan Daru. All right, so that's it. The lanes, they are closed. I suppose if you were in transit,
maybe
it could be your bad luck, or we'll just take you rolling up. We'll take, that's all. I don't think any more minutes after this, and you weren't in transit.
Well, there's 2 of them there, so, oh no, there's a few of them coming up.
Yeah, but that's it. That is it. We're done.
They were sitting there.
Look at all these stragglers. That's it, no more. Paulie Fuller, last shot for him. No, she might be somewhere in the power management there, or converter or something. It's just not happily finishing.
620 to 126 for Paulie.
I bet you we've got people up there blocking them now. So that's it. Don't even bother. If you're
not there, don't
come.
come.
I think I think we are. So
Naomi van der Trot is out there. She hasn't come forward yet. That's Jerry Keane. There she is. Naomi's there in that beautiful little yellow car.
All right, so the last chance for Imone. She went 5.49 with a 9 twice. Jerry Keane, he's done a million wheel stands.
Oh, there's 2.
Sending that S15 to a 5.56. Woohoo! 5.56 at 1:28. That's a bunch of smiles in those time slips. And 2 5.49s with a 9. I'd frame those 2 together, actually. This go. That's just
Rick
so
Barnes.
good. That's a good day at the track when it can do that.
Yeah, Rick Barnes in the fastback, and Matt Francis in the yellow tray.
The lanes are done. Forget about coming around again. If you want to have a go, forget about it.
I think that little truck, I mean, it works. Just maybe not enough tyre on it.
It's also this tray back. It's like it needs a couple of 100 kilos in the back.
Yeah, probably needs that too. 7.39. I was just watching the way the thing worked, and I thought, yeah, that thing's doing everything right.
All right.
Yeah, Matty Loy, he's out.
Junga's last birthday pass.
And no one in beside him. He's on his own.
So far, I do see
Well, no, there's nothing.
one of
coming
the
up on
Armstrongs.
Yeah, nothing coming up on the screen.
So, yeah.
Matty will take it anyway. No pressure when you buy this. So he's just looking for a number. Well, the pressure's on him for himself. He's looking for that elusive 650.
All right, everyone that's done runs, make sure you get your time slip of choice back to the tent. We're closing all that up. We're not going to be mucking around.
You've probably got it 15 minutes if you're lucky.
Up top, we are closed lanes. You've got 2 there, and it looks like Tanya will be the final pass.
Okay, lanes are closed. There's a couple of cars left. Matty on his own. Let's see how he goes.
Oh,
690,
Junga decides to go and whack 6/10 off it in that one run. He goes, you know what? I'm going to get rid of all the shackles, and I'm going to go and run a 5.
Yeah, and he did that easily.
Oh, Declan's come back in at the death. Mia Armstrong as well. Declan hunting the 5 something, I think. Trying to find something out there. He's looking for an ET. This will be the last chance. He'll have to do anything with an ET. 43 with an 8.
Fast. And a 669. I'd rather have the 669, I think, at this stage.
All right, this is the last paired pass, and I think we've got one car after that, and that is it. Time slips in.
Yep, we have about 20 minutes you got, guys, or you got less than 20 because we'll be racing again in 20. Peter Fenton and Ryan. Oh, there's a lot of smoke coming out of that little car.
Yeah, he goes 723 to a 649.
Mate, go back and top the oil up. I suspect you're just about out of rings.
Now, just remember where you leave your laptop, Tomo, okay? Just remember where you left your laptop. He's just whacked his laptop there in the middle on the starter's box.
He'll forget.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 days of the most amazing journey, the Absolute Lifting and Safety Road Trip Drag Challenge, we're down to this. No one's run a 4 to get that trophy yet. We don't know when that might happen.
So Tanya Thompson, the last pass of qualifying.
But
and if Tomo's gone for a walk, okay. He doesn't generally walk that far.
That's the number. 5:01 Tanya did before. They've got the slip. We've seen it. That's a big number, but this is now an opportunity. Last chance to see whether or not there's anything more in the tank.
Well, that was as hard a burnout as I've seen Tanya do.
Tomo's going for a look. This is her favourite lane. Look, honestly, if you would ask Tanya, also, how many times have you run in that far lane? You would say a big majority.
She'd know exactly.
I barely ever see the lady in this lane. I've always seemed to remember her wanting this. This is her favourite lane, I think. So we're out there. Tomo's trying to find a nice, sweet spot, and let's just see what the car can do to finish off our on-track Road Trip Drag Challenge here. It's been a great 3 days. We thank everyone, all of our great sponsors.
He's got to set up in the car. He takes the telltale out. He says all you got to do is concentrate and drive in the car. So both wheels on the steering wheel, never left. Never left. The only time I'll leave now is when she pulls the gear.
All right.
And there's a well set up little motor car.
We've seen some epic performances from a lot of cars this weekend, and this lady been fighting this beast all weekend.
Here's the green. She said, I'll just wait for a bit till I get a look at the boost I want. Oh, man.
Here it goes. 5007, Tomo. 5007. Oh, man. 5007. 5007. Oh, to be continued. To be continued.
There's a 5 there somewhere, buddy.
Watch next episode. No, you can't watch the next episode. We haven't done it yet, but that's the way we leave you hanging after 3 days of this. That trying to run the first 4 to get that trophy, she comes out and goes 5007. What a way to wrap it up. The biggest effort ever, you would have to say, by not only the Addictive Events crew, but the Willowbank officials as well, the venue, these guys. I think they kind of love these events. It's a little bit different, a little bit more low-key. It's different. There's, it's a really basic system that works and is friendly on everyone.
15 to get your time slip in, guys. 15 to get your time slips in.
The timer is set for 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes, and I've set that right now. 15 minutes to get those slips back to the tent. And remember, that tent will be packed up shortly. So if you haven't bought your merch, you've probably only got a matter of minutes. But we have got 15 minutes left to get those slips in.
And we'll be back probably about 16 minutes.
Well, look, on behalf of everyone here, we'd like to wish a farewell to everyone driving home, and be careful on the way home, and be mindful. If you want to get all the results up to date, make sure that you check the page, and it'll all be on the Overtaking Lane page as well. So just remember, the Road Trip Drag Challenge page will have all the results. We'll be getting them all tallied in the next 15 minutes or so. But on behalf of everyone that's been watching on the Overtaking Lane live stream, a lot of people saw that right to the end, 5007. We thank you very much for being a part of it as well. We love to bring it to you thanks to Overtaking Lane and the live stream, and Mick and Jane and all of the volunteers that help here with the Absolute Lifting and Safety Road Trip Drag Challenge. It's farewell, and we'll see you at the next one, which I believe they're up at Palmyra, and then they'll have another one here before the end of the year. But it's been great to see. You've got to watch it all back. Recommend it to your friends to watch these live streams over the last 3 days, and you'll enjoy it as well. Thanks, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.